Howdy folks, and welcome to Adventures in Alberon, our 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign. I'm Joe Treff, your Dungeon Master for this and every game. Joining me, as always, I have my friends, Matt, Miles, Allie, and Tina. Thank you very much for hanging out with us today. This is the 96th session of our campaign. A couple of quick announcements. We have a website redesigned last week. Oh boy, it's going to be one of those kind of nights. Redesigned last week. I just looked up, I'm sorry.
You should be.
We had a website redesigned last week to encompass both campaigns, Adventures in Alberon, the 5th edition D&D campaign we're playing tonight, as well as Mosaic Team 5, which is an upcoming Starfinder campaign that will be on this channel Thursday nights. I think it's 6 o'clock, something like that. So stay tuned for that, but the website has details about both. There is a whole background for Mosaic Team 5. There is character bios and all that kind of stuff up for Adventures in Alberon. And there's also a 102-page long document on Dominion, the continent that we're playing in, with how all the different races and classes fit into the continent, along with some special rules, like the rules for the Mountain Elf, which is a homebrew thing, and rules for the Falcon Knight, which is also a homebrew thing. There is a bunch of magical items, although I don't think the newest update has come up yet, but there's 3 or 4 of those that are in there. There will be some others that are going to be added later, like the Breaker and other things that are more relevant to this campaign will be added a little bit later. We also have an Instagram and a Twitter. Those are at Alberon RPG. It's a really good place to go and check out some of the hand-drawn maps, the painted miniatures, a lot more 3D printed terrain now. A whole bunch of cool stuff at Alberon RPG on Instagram. And then finally, we have Sirenscape, which is a digital tool set that we use to use music and sound effects and all that kind of stuff to our game. Sirenscape, just check it out. That's all I got. So, with that, oh, and hello, Talon. I will jump us into our recap. Okay. Oop, I guess I'm just going to jump in midway through our theme. Finger Gang. Last we played. High above the clouds in the cloud giant city ruins of Yorn, you fought against the venom sap treant named Lone Voice, who attempted to crush Akka after Akka cast Shatter on one of the saplings it tended, shredding it to pieces. Morwen, you rushed to attempt to somehow reassemble the shattered tree within the pot-like structure it had rested in. The treant used its natural abilities to temporarily awaken the other sapling, which Heinrich attempted to flee with. The battery the sapling was planted within was crushed as the sapling took treant form. Akka, using your ability to fly, you fled through a hole in the ceiling. And with Heinrich casting Wall of Fire to create a pillar up and around this creature, both the treant and its copy were really only able to hurl rocks at you. Akka, you flew 119 feet up into the sky to cast a cantrip, Firebolt, down. Shay, you held the second treant at bay, though your strike's relatively ineffective against this fey wood. Ultimately, Heinrich, your fire proved to be too much, as the treant broke down in a heap of flaming timber, its last words, "My children," echoing in Sylvan across the broken rocks in the space that you're in. After all assigning blame, you returned to Gamble and gave him the battery. He said in about a week you could have this ship, this flying ship, ready after you had destroyed the previous incarnation. You returned to the Floatstone Fortress, this flying fortress where both the Zinyi and the Lorebinders had taken residence, and proceeded to settle in for the night, most of you. Shay, you found a place to train. Heinrich, you spent some time with Lorebinder Boron, uncovering information about the Frostline. Primarily you read about Azalian, an Eladrin of the Winter Court, who splintered off and created the Frostline as his own realm of winter. You learned of the 3 rules of the Frostline, and that the Feywild nature of the place meant that it reacted to emotion and even death in a visceral and unexpected way. Akka, you attempted to access the library as well, but were politely, if firmly, redirected by Lorebinder Boron, now up late thanks to the new information uncovered with the help from Heinrich. In the morning, Morwen and Finn, who had decided to get really drunk, were not immediately located. Eventually, they were found as Meliora had tied the two up to the ancient posts of the Zinni archway transported to Yorn, in their drunken stupor, they had been discovered to be throwing many items off the edge, thousands of feet to the ground below. Heinrich, as Akka was left to deal with this, you and Carranza Billows traveled to Kol Turan, the dwarven citadel which you were all hailed as heroes from after breaking the dragon's siege. You shopped at the Spirit and Soul, the enchanter Aeshelweiss's shop, and purchased a perfume of bewitching and a ring of animal control. The two of you got separate rooms at the Standing Snake Inn, and then back in Yorn, after a disheartening talk with Shay, the utterly defeated Akka slumped off to find Master Gamble to issue a little bit of communication to Heinrich, and that is where we're going to pick up today. So, give me just 1 second here. Okay. Akka. You sort of walking out through the courtyard now, like having exited the northern tower from where Shay was training in one of the empty rooms. This is a giant structure, sized for a giant. So walking through the courtyard, the tower, the walls loom up tall around you. You begin to walk towards the exit. At the moment, 1 second here. I actually didn't time you guys forward. Unless I did. No, I did. Okay. Off in the distance, partially cloudy. It is chilly here, a little bit above 20 degrees Fahrenheit. But as you make your way out, there is partially cloudy sky beneath you, and then the sun, blue skies above. And then out beyond the series of clouds, you can see that small crescent-shaped courtyard with the iron ring that you know will lift you up in a magical cloud and bring you over to the city proper. Is that where you're going?
I guess so.
Okay.
What was I... I already told Heinrich.
You did not. So you had just had a very long game of talking to everybody about where the stone
I'm just
was.
going around.
So at the moment you need to find Gamble. You know Gamble is off working on that ship.
Because he's got the stone.
Correct.
Right.
He's, the sending stone.
Yeah, okay. Then I'm going to go.
Okay. Without any real issue, as you can fly, you can float across the small gap. And even really could probably fly to the rest of Yorn if you wanted to.
Probably like low hover.
Okay, yeah. So instead of taking the ring, you hover across, and in this space, you can look down and just see this uniform blanket gray of the clouds that kind of always rest underneath this place. But on the edges in the distance, you can see just bits of white and this blaring bit of sun that kind of glances off the snow below and makes its way through the cloud cover. It's almost like there's a sun beneath you as well. Without any real trouble, you can find Gamble. There's not a whole lot of people hanging out in Yorn these days.
Yeah.
Within 10 minutes, you're able to make your way over. You can see now Gamble kind of working with about three...
Probably Morwen and Finn are still tied up.
Correct.
Okay, I would probably...
What? I thought you've been taken down by now, and we were sleeping somewhere else. Because I grabbed the sending stone to tell Heinrich I needed to do butts.
And then re-tied you up.
Yeah, we re-tied you up.
Yeah.
After the sending stone?
I believe so.
Oh, that's rude as hell.
Well, because you were starting to throw stuff off again.
Not off.
What?
Not off.
No.
Oh.
But at the moment, I believe I have you both tied up to this archway.
Yeah. Because I tied Finn back up and then stole from him.
Akka, Gamble and a trio of Squall's End villagers. You see a dwarf, a human, and actually kind of one of the very few Aarakocra still left, female if that matters, working on sawing this vessel almost in half. Okay. They seem to be set on restoring the front 40 feet or so. You can also see, although dressed differently, Meliora, more armor. You see less of the kind of plain cloth and garb, and actual like remnants of leather armor underneath.
Does anyone else seem like they're preparing for battle? Or
Make an insight check. Looking at Gamble, who is very, very busy, kind of towards the middle, he's kind of lashing elements of this battery, now disassembled into two pieces, almost as if it's been sawed down the middle, although You don't see any dust or anything that would indicate that it's been sawn in half, maybe split. But loading it half at a time into this empty part of the ship.
Okay.
What did you roll?
11.
11. At the moment, I mean, these are just some villagers. Looking at them, they are wearing Zinyi garb, but kind of hard to tell whether that's because they're Zinyi or whether it's because this is a refugee group now kind of using what they have.
Okay.
Hard to tell.
I'd probably just like make my presence known.
Okay.
They're still working, right?
Yeah, you see like the female Eric Kuroko kind of look up at you and take a few steps over, mutter something, and then Gamble's head kind of emerges and looks out. He's going to walk over to you, kind of wiping his hands off on this cloth, putting it over his shoulder. Yes, Aka.
I need to get in touch with Heinrich again to relay more information.
For the moment, it seems as if it might be prudent for you to hold on to this. And he takes out the sending stone and hands it to you.
Okay.
Before you all depart, of course, it would be nice to have that so that we can maintain communication.
I'll make sure to get it back to you.
That being said, in order to safeguard the group, in thinking about some of the deeds that you've committed in the last day, we will need to broker a peace if you mean to go to the Frost Line.
Yeah.
Meliora has agreed to help, haven't you, Mel? And you turn, you can see this very grim old Eladrin, the eye patch, the kind of mechanical clockwork magic arm, like holding this crossbow sort of at her hip. She does not look terribly pleased, and she does not acknowledge you in any way.
Just kind of like, okay.
Well, she will help at any rate. She does know more of the Frost Line than any of us.
Okay. Well, thank you. I guess I can help with whatever you're doing after I tell Heinrich everything and get everyone up to speed, and also go check on Morwen and Finn because they're still tied up and probably wait. How long has it been now? Since we first woke them up, or first checked on them, I guess.
Hour and a half.
Okay, so I'll go check on them after, and
Okay.
yeah, I can come back and help after I get everyone up to speed.
Any help would be appreciated.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
He turns, walks back to the ship. You kind of turn your back, and what are you doing?
Probably try to contact Heinrich at this point and tell him everything that Shay told me, and get everyone all on the same page about everything.
Okay. So Heinrich, while you are, it's probably about right around 7 in the morning.
Come in, Heinrich.
And suddenly the sensation...
You're going to wake up?
The sensation of the sending stone from Gamble chimes. Again, it being from Gamble, there's no real way of telling who it's from.
Sure.
It's me.
I guess I'll put down my book and, hello? Gamble?
Nope, it's me.
Oh. What is it? Is something wrong? Morwen throws more stuff off, or?
No, they're still tied up. And then
it's been like a day.
yeah. Well, like a couple hours, right?
No, we've been tied up for like a day previously. We've just been tied up again for a few hours.
Yeah.
So a few hours.
Probably maybe like
Like total, what's the tie time?
Like 20 hours?
Yeah.
I think
close to that.
yeah.
That's
pretty-
like borderline
I'm actually on
torture,
my way
and
to
you're
go.
keeping them prisoner kind of status.
Well, I'm on my way to go.
I said keep an eye on them,
check
not
on
like
them.
hurt them.
It's not me. I'm not making all these decisions. I'm just
No
doing
one.
I didn't
just
tie
get them.
up
Just get
the
them
first
untied.
time.
Just
I'm
get them
going. I'm
untied.
going.
What is it? Sorry. Anyways, what
I'm gonna
was?
tell him all
Okay.
the other
What's the everything? What is it?
Oh my god.
I don't remember the conversation.
That's what you said when you...
What was this important conversation you had with Shay? I'm surprised she.
What was the important conversation that we had? Shay?
I'd help you out, but I wasn't there.
To ask me for the stone. I told you I didn't have it because Heinrich took it. you mentioned something about knowing something about Zeistreese's phylactery?
Yes, that's what it was about.
Oh, okay.
So very specifically, it was to mention the phylactery, the idea that there was potentially one embodied as a sphinx somewhere within the
that
Kutar
lined up
Badlands.
with the Kutar Badlands location that we had already known about.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. I was there with Meliora when she told us that. Was there something that Shay told you that brought new light to that?
Did you get contact drunk?
I'm still at -1 for my exhaustion.
I feel like another day or two you'll feel better.
Yeah, maybe like another 8 hours of rest will help me feel back up to speed.
Look, I know you were going to go try to find out stuff about the phylactery at the library. Was it something to do with, like, any others?
Any other what?
Phylacteries?
Well, just to see if there's any information that might help us.
Okay.
I don't know. But they didn't let me. They didn't let me in.
Such a sick conversation.
Well, I'm sorry about that. Karanzi and I are going to be back later today.
Okay.
So if you find anything out before then,
yeah, I'll let you know
let
when
me
we
know.
get back.
Do you want anything from Culturam? Like an orange juice?
No, I think I'm okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna go untie them now.
Yes, please do.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, bye.
Put it in my
That's so awkward.
I learned nothing.
It's like if Matt actually called you one morning just to see what you're doing. Like,
At 6 in the morning.
Well, there was definitely a reason. Why would I be going ahead? Why did I do this in the first place?
I ask myself that all the time.
I generally don't remember what
I was doing.
I genuinely don't remember
oh my god.
what you talked.
I don't know. I don't
You
know
kept
either.
it. You kept it very bland with me. I don't know if you were planning on telling him about your issue.
No, I'm not doing that right now. You don't do that kind of stuff over the phone.
Send him a text.
You don't do that over the stone.
Stuff over the stone.
It's not a stone conversation, okay? It's in person.
Alright, so I'm putting the stone in. I'm like,
I'm gonna go.
Akka
tie
sounds
them
weird.
up.
I wonder what's up with him.
I'm gonna go untie them, or
Maybe he
check
just
off them
wanted
and
to
decide
talk.
if I should untie them.
Nobody else.
You
is
return
talking.
Yeah.
to the Floatstone Fortress without any problems.
Walking around.
About 10 minutes later. Meanwhile, Morwen,
Yes.
you and Finn, early in the morning, like super, super early, are going to end up, probably actually a little bit before this conversation is taking place. One of the Squall's End villagers, this young boy, probably about like 7 years old, is going to wander across you guys. The first thing that happens, like probably still a little bit asleep, you hear this kind of, and you look up and see this little, almost like a stuffed leather ball roll into the room. And this little kid comes running in after and kind of stops. In the darkness, he just sees your tabaxi eyes kind of backlit by the light coming in from this narrow window behind you. You see him freeze up for a second and kind of tense. What are you doing?
Scared the shit.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be like, don't do drugs.
And he just so you do find them tied up.
He's never gonna do drugs.
Well, 30 minutes. So you stayed tied up for about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Kind of wondering
Paying
if
it
the kids
forward.
come back. Slowly over the course of that time, you see the ball that he kicked kind of rock back a little before it kind of falls into a nook. That's all that really happens. It's a slow morning. Akka, you come to finding in the northern part of the courtyard after walking through and seeing this little kid come just running, crying through the courtyard from the northern entrance. Entering into that area, you find Morwen awake, kind of groggy, and then Finn still sleeping, tied where you left them. There's also a leather ball in the middle of the room.
Good morning, sleepyhead.
Morning.
How was your?
Awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you let me down now? I'm in pain.
Is it because you lost all your stuff?
No, it's because my back hurts from being tied to a pole for a whole day.
I'm gonna telepathically untie.
Okay. So all of a sudden, as you say that, it feels as if the ropes just go slack and you kind of half fall to the ground. But get yourself as graceful as you want. You are a tabaxi rogue.
Yay.
You are now free.
Probably have like a bruise on your forehead from all the pebbles.
I wouldn't know what it's from. All right, I'm gonna untie.
How could you see it?
I'm
You're
gonna
covered in fur.
poke
That's true.
poke Finn awake.
Okay. Pretty quickly, he just kind of. Oh, what's going on, Morwen?
Brace yourself.
Good
What do you mean, brace
morning.
yourself?
I'm gonna
Morning.
untie him too.
Ah, then he just falls. You see, he slides. It's because he's on the archway. It's not like he's dropping onto his face,
Right.
but he does kind of fall down to one knee, brushes himself off. Okay, thank you. I guess. Did you need to leave us for like a whole day?
It wasn't up to me.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too. Where's Heinrich?
Heinrich's in Colteron.
Oh, can I talk to him?
No.
Please? Please?
He's busy.
No, he's not. Can I call him? I know you have it. Somebody has it. I don't know you have it.
Wait, what do you have?
I got a little stone
I think
that
a
calls
headache.
people, talks to people that are far away.
Oh, like a sending stone.
Yes,
Oh,
just
yeah.
exactly like that. Yeah.
So a sending stone. Sorry.
Can I, where is it?
Someone else has it probably. Maybe.
Who had it last? Gamble had it last, right?
Campbell had it
You see
last.
Finn's eyes narrow at you, and he just goes, that doesn't sound right to me. Are you lying to us? You're lying to us.
Can I have it? Can I borrow it?
No, Heinrich. I'm gonna like take it out and just show him. Be like, no.
Sleight of hand check. Again. What is it?
Yeah.
You're taking it out with your physical hand? So sleight of hand check.
Yeah.
Competing sleight of hand
And
checks.
I'm like just
Oh,
in
I
and
mean,
out, you know.
what'd you roll?
Oh, I mean, it's 17 plus 15, so.
Yeah. So
Wait,
that,
what's my defense of that?
I mean, if you want, you can make a competing sleight of hand check.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
16.
A little shy of 31.
little
You
shy
pull
of
it out,
one-half
and you're
of
just
her
like,
roll.
in your mind, you're just gonna kind of do this thing, and you put it out, and as your arm begins to move down, it's almost as if it just vanishes. It's like somebody edited it out of the video of your life.
I just got off the stone with him.
How do I know how to work this? Yeah, we've used
Yeah,
these before.
yeah, you've
All
seen
right.
people use them.
What do you?
Sure, that's how they. So
They're just poking the two eyes, the
key
nose,
in
and the mouth.
The glyphs of this. It literally is just a really pretty white stone with like a copper, almost red hawk on it, or red hawk. There's no buttons, but you poke the same picture several times. Heinrich, you get the sensation that the sending stone is activating again. And as you pick it up, the first thing you hear is just Morwen's fuzzy
It's
finger.
just like
Just like scratch.
Aka.
Hello.
Oh, Morwen this time. Hello.
Even though I know he can't hear me, I'm gonna be like, untie her.
Well, yeah.
You just hear Morwen go, well, yeah.
Hi, so I don't know if you got my message, but I need a new butt if you can pick one up while you're in Colteron.
But
I would also like one of those golden apple. Finn, you want an apple?
what are you?
We'll
Yeah, I
get
could-
2 golden apples.
What?
And
Whoa, wait, what? You give me a shopping list now?
yes. Okay, I'll wait. Do you have a pen and paper out?
Oh my God, hold on.
I know you do. So
Yeah. It's not out.
Can I get a golden apple?
make that 3 golden apples.
Hang on.
Wait, whoa, the golden?
Yeah.
I'll take 2.
Okay.
Wait. I
Make
don't-
that.
Yeah.
Make that
Get
10
a bushel.
golden
Get a
apples.
bushel.
Can you grab a tree of golden apples?
You had golden apples.
Is he doing that? Wait, are they like to eat?
Okay, go on.
Oh,
All right, we would like 10
assumed
golden
it was like an
apples.
Apple either way.
I thought it was just.
I
Like
would
an
like
apple
a
made
new
out of
butt.
gold, like a
What does
bar.
that mean?
An apple.
You know what a
Well,
butt
that'd be good
is.
too.
Yeah, but how did you lose it?
Doesn't
I mean,
matter.
fuck, they use these little beetle things that are like
how-
currency, so it's weird.
I think I threw it off the cloud.
And yourself with it, or
No, I'm here.
how's your?
Yeah, you know, it's crazy shit. So I would like a new butt.
Okay.
All right, what do you have so far?
Golden apples, new butt.
How many?
I'm just as many as they're willing to give us.
Okay. Anybody want anything? Can we get a kid's meal? And
What's a kid's meal? Like a small meal. You just wait till I get back with the button food.
Okay, don't cheap out on it, but also like I don't want to pay a whole lot for it. So if you can just steal a nice one, I'll pay you a little bit for your troubles.
A nice one, what? Kids meal?
But
a really nice. I mean,
Please
okay.
come out of the pork butt.
A really nice butt. Okay, I mean, I'll try my
There's
best.
so many ways to interpret it. I feel like, yeah.
Yeah. I'll try my best.
Is there
I didn't
anything
know what
else?
kind of butt you wanted, so I got you a variety.
Smooth as a baby's, pockmarked.
I think that
Old
might
and
be it for me.
saggy.
Does anybody want anything from Colterom?
Probably, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Finn, you want anything from Colterom?
I mean, I really just want Heinrich to bring back the button thing
Button?
with the food.
You already said butt.
Oh no! Can you come back? When you coming back? We're hungry.
Well, we can go get food now.
It's gonna be like a day. You gave me a list of things.
the
It's gonna
monks
take
have
me hours
food.
to do this.
It's not gonna take you hours to find a butt in apples. Are you kidding?
Yeah, you've been to Colterom. You know how tall this place is?
Okay, fine.
It took me 4 hours to get from
Alright,
where
but
we
if you're gonna-
landed to the place where
Okay.
we ended up staying.
Okay, but if you're gonna wimp out and not steal a butt, I would like you to call me first so we can discuss price.
Can you just to clarify this? Can you just
It is a
give
short
me?
sword.
Okay. I was gonna try to play this on a little longer, but all right, fine. Now that you clarified it, I can't be funny.
A short butt.
A short
As opposed
sword.
to a long butt.
You don't want to see those.
I assume you'll be paying for all of this.
Well,
correct?
it depends on the price, and if you can just steal it, that'd be really cool.
No, you'll be paying for this one way or another. I'm not
Well,
gonna
I'm
do all
not
this.
paying for it without a consent of price.
Then I can't guarantee I will return with one. I'll try my best.
Okay, don't let me down. Bye. Oh wait, hi, Granza. And then hang up.
Cross something.
I wish
all
I
right,
could
you know that.
Give it
sleep
back.
so I could go back
Talk
to
to
it.
Heinrich.
I will give it.
I already put it away. I'm done with this.
Fair enough. Speaking of which, Heinrich, in Colterom,
Mm-hmm.
what are you doing? You kind of are within this room now. You've been reading for a little bit. And
Yeah. Let's see if Carranza's up yet, I guess.
Sure. You can go downstairs and where you had entered from the main staircase, that kind of area where you'd spoken to the dwarf, there's not like a bar or anything even close to something as glamorous as that, but almost like benches that people might wait at if, like, let's say you're staying with a group of people and you're waiting for everybody to wake up, for instance, and Carranza is there.
Oh, wonderful.
You could see wearing essentially the same outfit as she was wearing before. She didn't bring any bags or anything,
Yeah.
but awake and kind of waiting.
Hey, Carranza, you eat yet?
No, I was promised the meal when I came here.
Hell
so,
yeah. Hell yeah. What do you want? Literally anything.
Literally anything?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like
Okay, let's go find a nice place to sit outside and take in the sights of this wonderful
We're-
rebuilding dwarven capital.
underground.
Yeah, I mean outside of this building that we're sitting in.
Okay, and she kind of just stands up.
Yeah.
After you, but I really don't understand it. I mean, we're inside no matter where we go. It
Well,
seems
yeah, I
dumb
mean-
that they're building buildings in a mountain.
I got nothing. I mean, they're dwarves. What do you want?
Yeah. All right.
All right.
You see the innkeeper kind of standing there, like 10 feet away.
Would
just,
you be building this city outside or in the? What would you prefer to have done with this wonderful city? Build it on the slopes outside or inside of it?
Who are you talking to?
The innkeeper who kind of went like this.
In here, of course. I mean, it's hill dwarves build out there, and you know what happened to them.
Right. Just like remember, turned into a grong. I say as I walk out the door. All right, where's a good? And then I'm like scratching my chin, just looking for a nice scenic spot to sit at close by.
You know those trees with the golden apples?
Yeah, it's like all the way on the fucking top floor. I'm not gonna walk up there before eating.
floor.
Yeah,
It is.
it is literally
I
the
know,
top
but
floor,
still.
the highest level plane constructed by these
You have
dwarves in this
reached-
city.
Apples.
Golden apples. Okay, so stepping out into the streets, even considering it's morning, there is almost like a 24-hour cycle underground, so busy enough. But looking around outside, you can see the street that you guys are on kind of slopes downwards and it twists around a little ways. On the right and left sides, as it gets to like the apex of its turn, there's almost like little plazas set aside. And you can see stone tables set up for just whoever wants to use them. A few taken, most empty.
I'll gesture to that.
Cool. You guys walk over to these long gray stone tables, and then these kind of very typical group benches that go along either side.
Cool. All right, and I'm just gonna put the button right in between us.
Okay.
They're just sitting on the table or benches or whatever. What do you want?
Like a poached egg.
Okay.
Can you poach an egg?
I'll repeat it. Yeah. Anything else?
I mean,
Is that all you're gonna want for breakfast?
no. Like, okay, let's get some bacon. Let's get a
Bacon.
side of bacon, maybe with some like brown sugar
Okay,
and.
brown sugar.
Is this like an imaginary thing?
Oh,
Okay. It's just she looks around and there's just like no.
Fine. Here, I'll add some stuff into. Let's see here.
Smoked ham.
Just like sliced ham, some cheddar, and some what's that kind of bread that's got like bumps on top and you tear it apart and it's really sweet.
Challah bread.
Yeah, thank you. That, if that's a thing in this, implying all the things that led to its
Sure.
existence in our
Yeah. Just thinking
the
all these
equivalent,
Sure.
whatever. Okay, anything else before last chance?
No. Boop. Okay. You press this tiny button, and you
I
can
say
see,
that too.
Yeah, sure. You say poop.
Yeah,
As you
I
do,
push it. It's a button.
you see Karan's. She's rolled up the sleeves. You guys are indoors, and it is like 65 degrees here. So for her, pretty warm, considering she's been in Yorn for the last little bit.
Yeah.
Sleeves rolled up, you can see kind of like the dark skin up against this gray table, and as you press the button, this tray begins to unfold, and she has to lift her arms off, and kind of exclaims, because all of a sudden, as this tray unwinds, you see bacon, and you see this poached. You see 3 little silver cups with the egg like perfectly on top. The egg has been like, it looks almost laser straight cut, and then you see the poached egg just resting perfectly within, a little bit of steam still rising off of it. There's little dishes of salt, several different colors implying like different flavors, and then you see not just like a challah bread, but it's a challah wreath. So it's been kind of twisted into 3 different strands.
With like
and put
ham and
together.
cheese in the middle.
Yeah. Whatever it is that you want, little things that kind of cut between each soft little bit. You see Carranza at first, it's the bacon, and she's like, oh, that's a good trick. And then it like keeps
Just
going
like-
and keeps going.
Yeah.
And you can see her mouth just open.
And I'm just gonna like reach for the things that I requested.
Yeah.
Just be like, yeah, enjoy.
She takes one of these little cups and she's like, this is like all pretty real. And she kind of takes it and just drops the egg on the ground. You see it just crack and spill out across
I'm just
the
gonna be
stone.
like eating the bread, like, yeah, it's also tasty too. You
Can I
probably
sell this? Is that how that works? She's holding up like this little silver egg cup.
I never thought about that before.
Could you like start a restaurant and just have no overhead?
Well, that's certainly what my retirement plan is with this thing. I got
Yeah.
a bar back in Port Quinn called the Cold Harp. I might just
I don't know if I've been to Port Quinn.
it's fine.
I've heard a little bit about it. It's
I'm
like,
not even gonna try to put it on the map. I literally just would like to retire there. It's quite pleasant.
Yeah. Well, anyways, if this tastes half as good as it looks, and she kind of starts picking things up and eating, it's a delightful breakfast. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys have a wonderful breakfast.
You know what? You hang on to that silver cup and try to sell it. If anywhere would be able to tell you if it's legit and worth money, it would probably be Dwarven Citadel.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. She takes it and just kind of like pulls out her shirt and drops it in.
Don't blame me though if it's not, and they say you're counterfeiting or whatever the hell, if that's a thing.
I mean, I'll just.
to you.
I'm gonna ask about it. You know?
Okay,
I'll say it was
best,
my mother's,
best,
and then I'm trying to figure
best
out. You know,
use. Yeah, totally.
she departed. It's very sad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's a fake. It's a.
Oh
it's
my
a
god.
story.
Okay, you got me.
Oh my god.
You're good.
All right.
I'm just ingratiating myself there. Jesus.
So you do notice as you are doing this, there are people who kind of walk by, and just like previous Heinrich, it's not too long before people start kind of going by and just sort of, the first person goes over and just is, oh, thank you, and puts down like a cup of beer just right in front of you,
I'm like,
despite the
oh.
fact that you have this whole spread. And
Thank you, and I'll just like tiny little sip.
yeah,
Like,
and he just kind of nods and says, nothing's too good for the slayers of dragons, and heads off down the street. Every now and then somebody will come by, and because it is right around breakfast
I
time,
didn't think about this.
there's like a little fresh thing of like bread that seems to have been, it's almost like a dark gray bread. It's like put down, it smells good, but it's like ashy. That gets put down on the table, and it's almost like you see a few people are coming over and they're like a little embarrassed because there's this buffet in front of them, but just like adding little kind of trinkets here and there. Make a perception check.
Okay.
Sell their gifts.
That's not good. Passive 12 or rolled 7.
Sure. Certainly not causing any kind of traffic, and it's probably not interfering with the day-to-day runnings of the Citadel.
Well, I wasn't trying to stay here, so this is picking up. I'll look. Cons, are you done almost? I feel like we should probably.
You see
run our
Karan's like
errands
a
and get
little
out of
piece of
here.
bacon like in her mouth, just, almost done.
Okay.
We'll go on.
That's fine. I'll just sort of.
She kind of like scrapes a couple things off into her hand, and a little bit of bread, and a little bit of this, and a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And she's now like kind of walking with it. She has one of the other egg cups and holding that too.
Cool.
You will notice as you stand up, every single table is occupied at this point. Across the street, empty. But
Yeah.
it's like every single person that's
Yeah.
come, and suddenly this is the place to eat breakfast.
Oh, jeez.
There are several of the Stone Guard kind of lurking around in the corner, trying
Yeah.
to kind of like usher people along.
Corral.
Yeah.
Crowd control. Thank you all. So great to see you all doing so well. I must be on my way. I assure you the rest of the gang will be back at some point to also say hello and howdy do.
So as soon as you say that, it's a ripple of whispers through the ground. Guntir's coming back. Guntir's coming back. The Slayer of Dragons.
I just
Kraz is like looking at all this and like, do they?
I mean, you saw the statue.
This seems morally. Oh, hi. And she like people are now coming up like trying to like shake your hand and stuff as you stand up to go.
I mean, we didn't say when.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is the statue like an
Platinum
idealized-
blonde. No, because this is
It's-
when you
it's
have the
Guntir with
platinum
hair.
hair,
Like, is
the
he
platinum
extra
beard.
beefy?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
absolutely. This is
Per
the best
your
Guntir.
request, if I remember
Yes.
correctly.
Golden
Yes.
Adonis.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's even within the armor.
That's still Gunter's face.
Yeah, you're wearing like plate armor and your muscles are somehow coming out the cracks.
Yeah, you have a
Disgusting.
6-pack in this plate mail scale armor.
Ugly little prune face.
Yeah, it's like the slow pan up from like the sandal strap feet all the way up through the bronze breastplate and then just at the face.
To people who know him, it looks nothing like Guntir. The eyes both look in the same
That's
direction.
probably for the best.
Yeah.
Because like in a generation they'll forget what he looked like and then
Yes.
because he's dead
Yeah.
it won't matter.
That's the beauty of history.
Yeah, exactly.
There's several versions
all
of Guntir that
fiction to
exist
some
in history
degree.
at this point. So,
All right.
yes, you cause a little bit of a commotion, but you
try
can
to
move on with
get
that
out of
issue.
here, yeah.
Where are you headed?
First things first, I feel like we should return when we leave, probably from. Kranz, is it easier when you use teleporting to avoid, the off chance of it being the wrong place, to like go from the place where you've last teleported? Like if we went up to the
It doesn't really matter if it was the last place. It's really the degree of familiarity.
right.
So,
And are you now more familiar with the place that we arrived, or where should we depart? Because there's
Oh, I
two
see
things I
what you're
got to do,
saying.
and
No.
they're like in opposite directions from
Where
each
we
other.
go from doesn't really matter. It's, once you get into like different planes and stuff, apparently it does, but it's not really. I don't do that
Right. Okay.
on purpose.
All right. So closest between the two would be the markety area, like the Market Aglo.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
and Edelweiss's shop.
Yeah.
Out of those two, which is the closest?
Edelweiss's shop is in the Market Aglo.
Oh, okay.
So the way it's set up,
Okay.
it's Market
Yeah, I
Aglo,
didn't know if it was like
Edelweiss's shop, and then you guys are like twisting down the main road and then off one of the side roads
Okay.
a little bit of the ways. Yeah.
so back up to that whole area
Sure.
first.
You make your way back up past this kind of corkscrew road with people coming down. You can see off the side roads now getting a little bit more congested. And there are people like in the windows, and as you walk by, here and there you can see like hastily erected little like poorly drawn tieflings kind of stuck up in charcoal on windows. Very, very small, narrow windows that there are in Culturam.
Do finger guns with minor illusion sparks. Like,
Awesome. The crowd goes wild. That's a popular one.
yeah. My face is trying to be genuinely excited, but I'm more just uncomfortable about
Sure. And as you go away, you can see these little kids now all just like finger gunning at each other in the street.
No. That,
Fighting's cool.
fireworks out my thumbs. How about that? That's
And they all just go, oh, they're like distracted for a little bit.
yeah. All right.
There's this one little girl though who could say, it's like, I don't know, violence was fun. But you head off into the distance. That's campaign 2's arch nemesis now. But you head off and you manage to make it to Edelweiss's shop.
Okay.
You can hear this cello music before you get there, and as you enter, you go past the armored figure. Here, I'll give you some Edelweiss.
The golem that's like being worked on.
Yeah.
Sick.
Not so much being worked on. You can see that there is this tarp, right? And the tarp, it covers work that's being done. You can see off one side of it, like the big gauntlet that would be the hand. It's, you know what? Make a what's it called? Insight check.
Boo. We're on like shit today. The 12.
Yeah, it's being worked on.
Yeah. I'm not here to inspect it, so. I'm just more happy she's putting it to use and everything seems to be safe here, so no one dastardly will get their hands on it.
Safe is always relative.
Yeah, well, duh. Safer than before. I mean, if we left that golem out in the middle of, like, a dragon controlling and building a portal to, you know, this nether realm with an ancient god trying to destroy everything,
Yeah.
probably worse.
Long term, that golem in Kindskill's hands would have been rough.
Yeah.
So you make your way past the suit of armor, and you can see now this beautiful bead curtain in one of the doorways of glass orbs that kind of make this almost musical rain-like sound. There's the gauzy fabric that you can see breaking the sight lines, and you see, now that you've been here, you see like silhouetted in one corner this kind of mace that you know is a mace of disruption. You can see where the counter is, and as you go back there, you can see Edelweiss, this drow, wearing almost like a dark purple, what is it called? I'm blanking on the word. It's a one-piece garment that's like a suit. A
Jumpsuit?
pantsuit? A jumpsuit? Jumpsuit.
frock?
I think it is a jumpsuit. It's basically like a jumpsuit.
Okay.
Dark purple, and there is this like heavy gold chain belt around it that kind of cinches it close. The it's shoulder padded that kind of flare out a
Powerful.
little bit. Very powerful. This is like a drow power suit essentially.
Yeah.
But she turns and smiles. Welcome back, Heinrich.
Good to see you again. Good morning.
Karanza just kind of nods sheepishly.
Yeah. I realized in my excitement at your wonderful work yesterday that I forgot to get something for Akka. Did you meet Akka?
Very briefly, yeah, she met Akka.
Yeah, it sounds like he's kind of down in the dumps, like no one like talked to him since we got well, it doesn't really matter. It's just, do you have any like fun little things that might get someone who's pretty sullen and has a problem accusing other people of doing things?
Could you tell me a little bit about him? What interests does he have? What qualities would you prescribe to his
He
character?
seems married to his armor, like he doesn't or can't take it off ever. Half elf, about yay high.
I remember, yes.
Yeah. Qualities. He's kind of sullen frequently. Drags his feet a lot. Seems to want to mean well, but not able to communicate that effectively.
Well-
and usually it gets people upset at him instead.
The perfume of bewitching would be very helpful for him, but there is trinkets.
Yeah, like fun things.
Get Akka friendship.
I don't know him that well, so like I don't want to get, you know what I mean? Like these other two that I got, I had very insightful uses for their recipients.
This is not the sort of thing I would sell normally, but
Okay.
I do have a small box of experiments And she
Okay.
kind of reaches under the counter and pulls out, it's like a shoebox-sized wooden crate. Little bits of kind of like dust and small gears and things kicking around in there. But she pulls out a necklace. It's almost like a chainmail necklace of copper chains. But you notice as she pulls it out, there is one single gold link that seems to be almost like the focal point. This is something, it was meant to throw the voice. It does work to an extent. But
Okay.
it, as it rests against the neck, it will amplify the voice.
That's great because he does mumble a lot.
So it would be good for making yourself understood.
That. You're good.
Is this... Do you...
Well, sure. I mean, I'd love to see the other ones, but definitely put that one aside.
Okay. And she takes it out and kind of...
It's like
rests
oddly
on the counter.
appropriate.
It's almost like you told me about this right before the game started.
Maybe. I don't know.
I also, and she pulls out a tiny, it's like a little gold band, very, very thin. And then on it, there's a tiny uncut garnet, just like a rough garnet stone. This originally was meant to blind those that would do one harm. But it is a little weaker than meant. It focused strangely. So she takes it and kind of slides it on. And then she squeezes her hand, and you see about 10 feet away, because it's a fairly narrow space, a little red dot appear on the wall.
Where's your pointer?
She stops squeezing and it disappears.
I feel like, I don't know why. I really don't know why, but I just get the gut feeling Morwen would love that.
I don't know. Tabaxi are not something that I know much about.
Just quite curious and loves. Never mind. Yeah, I mean, thinking if I gave the ring to Akka, then he would just torment Morwen forever. So I can't, with a good conscience, do that. I think that necklace thing, yeah, that seems perfect.
Speaking of Morwen, is she still... Does she pick up lots of things?
Yeah, yeah.
She
Throws
drops
them
them
off.
too.
She drops them too, but come to think of it, now I'm wondering how many other things did she throw off the edge. I don't know, but yeah, what was did you had you? I received a very strange call this morning from our paired sending stones, and it was very strange. She's in the market for a new short sword. Apparently, she threw it off a cliff. Let's just say
I mean,
yeah, exactly.
from what I know,
Yeah, if I can't find words for it, I'd be surprised if you could.
that seems to be about what is expected.
Yeah, but why do you ask about finding things? Did you task her with finding?
No, I have, and she pulls out. It's like a little. I guess maybe Heinrich is kind of familiar with what these are, but it's almost like a little clip, and it looks like it could probably be slid into the hair. It's like a little hair clip almost. It's a black and white sort of flower arrangement, very small, with little things coming off of it.
Flapper-esque.
Yes. Yeah, actually, kind of flapper-esque.
Roaring
unintentionally.
20s.
Yes.
How appropriate.
Yeah.
As we are in the something 20s right now.
This
To be determined.
This was originally meant to be a device used in some of the busier parts of the world, where things go missing from pockets. At the end of the day, well, originally it was meant to ring if something was stolen. It does not quite work. However, the petals will fall away at the end of the day if something was stolen from you. Not super effective in a market, but if you
No.
are traveling with folks who often steal,
Yeah. I feel like I would look ridiculous wearing this, as would Akka, and those are the only two people that I think are victims of our traveling companions.
unfortunate. Do you think? With those aside, the only other thing that I have, not a trinket, but a lesser item, and not one that I made. She reaches back into the counter and pulls off this little wand. It's golden, comes to a small tapered point, and as you look at it, at the very tip of it, like if you imagine it as a pencil where the eraser would be, It's just a little smiley face. This is a wand of smiles.
No.
When used against someone, it has a chance, and of course, depending on how strong their willpower is, but it has a chance to force them to smile. Of course, one needs a mouth for this to be effective, but in terms of cheering up somebody who is quite grim.
Ah, I like it. Okay. How much is the wand and how much is the necklace?
The wand for you, 45 gold pieces with your discount.
Mhm.
The necklace, as I said before, this is an experiment, please. And she just hands it to you.
Oh, well, sure. I'll just 50 gold pieces.
Thank you, Heinrich. And
Well,
she
thank
takes
you.
that.
This is such a joy coming here.
Karanz is going to say, could I actually see the ring? And she takes a little garnet ring.
Yeah,
And slides
Kranza,
it
please,
on.
just like
She just kind of squeezes it, and you can see this little red dot appear. She's going to go, could I, and you see Aishelweiss just kind of nod. And she just goes, oh, man, this is great.
awesome. Now, if I were to be looking for a short sword, extra sharp,
Extra sharp specifically?
yeah,
Well, that changes everything.
Vermont aged.
Extra sharp.
Where would I find? Because I don't know, doors for some reason I feel like I haven't seen too many swords around here, but where would that potentially be in this area?
That's a great question. 1 second here. Ooh. I need to bring up my Coltron guide from session 42.
Look what you did.
Done worse.
So if you want a short sword, snake, waist ways. Okay. So one of the problems was you guys came through Coltron last time when a lot of the shops weren't open
Or there.
or very still much on fire.
Yeah.
1 second here. Okay. So you're asking Aishelweiss?
Yeah, just since now she works in the area, I'm sure she knows.
There are many smiths in Coltron. It is a dwarven citadel, but the most friendly, I think, to us. And she kind of motions to all of you,
Yeah.
like most of the non-dwarves in Coltron, all in one
Everyone
room.
this high,
Yeah.
taller.
Clanforged is where you would like to go.
Cool.
They won't mark up your wares.
Good to know. Okay. Where? I'm assuming she would just tell me where that is.
Ah, yes, and she
Yeah.
explains to you. So actually, the one thing that you will need to do to get there is take something called the long yarn lift.
Oh, it's not even in this market. Okay.
So this is a. She'll tell you this is a lift named for a famed storyteller that could summon images with mere mortal words. It takes a long time, but it can bring you from the base of the Ring of Silver to the base of the Ring of Gold.
Oh, that's where we're headed anyways.
So,
And I'll
good to
nod
know.
over, like, affirmatively to Karanza. That's our last stop, up there.
It is cranked through a tower near the top.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot get off of it once it starts. It's 2 stations.
Sure.
So just be aware. It's if you need to use the restroom, go before. It's open. So
You fine with that, Karanza?
Kranz nods and says, "I can not go to the bathroom for like a half an hour."
Yeah.
But
Interesting conversation.
Any more than that?
31 minutes on the dot. I take a shit.
Every single 31
In
minutes.
fact,
Well, I don't know. That's,
Oh God! I was.
oh no, 600.
It's crappening.
It's been 601 turns. Oh God.
Imagine her in a fight.
hang on, I gotta.
Sorry. Imagine a fight in D&D that lasts 30 minutes. Each round
Oh
is
my
6
God!
seconds.
Yeah, Jesus.
I wouldn't blame her.
a full turn action.
To shit. 6 seconds. Good luck. That would take like I don't know. Well, depends. 8.
Hasted.
If you're hasted, do your bodily functions?
Hell yeah, they do.
Oh yeah, that's great. So
Hell
every
yeah,
time
they
you've
do.
been taking years off your life and hours away from the toilet.
You take a drink, you sober up in 30 seconds.
Just
Yeah.
imagine taking a hasted shit. Like, what?
It's like,
That's so
Forgot
odd.
to wait.
You wouldn't need to. The speed at which it goes
Anyway.
wipe itself.
Ew! You made muffins. That's worse.
peak D&D.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Gotta take a
You were right.
hasty
This
pill.
base,
Very, very
at
good.
the base of the Ring of Silver, there's the Tarnished Agora, and there are many smiths. But Clanforged is the closest one.
Perfect.
Yes.
That's where we'll go then. And handshake or something. Like I'm trying to think of like a "we're close now" gesture. I'm not
He
good
reaches
at.
out a little uncomfortably, but then shakes your hand.
I clasp him like, "Thank you, seriously. I'm
You're
very
welcome.
happy to see you doing well here." And
And she holds your hand back and says, "And thank you. If it wasn't for you and your friends and picking me over the other two, this success would not have found me. So it is you that I need to thank."
and just like a knowing nod. And I'm bad at goodbyes, so I'm just gonna turn and walk out.
Before you leave,
I turn back around.
I noticed, and like even as you kind of turn to go out and you lift the kind of curtain, there's like 4 or 5 dwarves in the doorway. And you kind of put the curtain back, and she goes, I noticed you brought company. If you would allow me, I can turn you and your friend invisible. Once you interact with something, it will go away. But just to get to the lift.
Sure, Carranza, do you mind?
No, it sounds fucking sweet.
Perfect.
All right. So Edelweiss kind of lifts a hand, and you see these violet, almost runes. Hard to tell if they're tattoos, if they're natural, if they're arcane, but they almost kind of lift from the body. And less lift, more that they glow and kind of radiate this light. And as you look at it and your vision kind of blurs, you look down and the form of your body blurs too. And as your vision clears, that doesn't, and you're just see-through.
Familiar.
Yeah.
I can do this too,
Yes.
but I didn't want to deny her that kind gesture.
There you go.
All right. And a disembodied voice says, "Well, farewell and good luck on your venture."
She nods, and her eyes ever so slightly not matching
just
yours.
to the left, yeah.
She's like she can, by your voice, calculate where you are pretty well, but you could tell just like a little off.
Yeah, it's like when someone's looking at your forehead and not
Yeah,
your eyes.
exactly,
You're like,
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just, okay.
It was good seeing you again. Pun intended.
Ha ha ha. Nice. And I leave.
As you walk out very quietly, you can see the dwarves are kind of like retreated, almost as if they're a little afraid of Edelweiss. But kind of standing around, you can hear one of them just go, "No, he's going to come out. I saw him through the ghost. He'll be here." And you see like this female dwarf who's like, I want to get any of their autographs. It doesn't even matter who. As you guys walk out.
Mechanical question.
Yes.
If I interact with objects on my person, would that break it?
You don't think so? Based on your previous experience, no?
Perfect. I'm just gonna like take a few pages out of one of my journals from the back, and just like write a bunch of signatures and do like dragon doodles, just like 4 or 5, and I'll just like
Okay.
lead
sure.
them out of the place. So it's like
So-
a pat,
Sure. So you take a couple steps back, and maybe 5 paces away, you stop. You kind of drop one of these things, and as you let go of it, all of a sudden it just kind of becomes real. And you see, make a sleight of hand check, actually. Make a
Okay.
performance check.
Performance. Okay, either one pretty good. And there's a good roll finally.
Okay.
I guess none of them have really been anything but for show today. 23.
So considering as you draw, you cannot see what you're drawing, it's a pretty good dragon.
Yeah.
Your full name is on the page. Everything's kind of like centered. It's good. And you take a couple more steps back, and Carranza kind of, and one of the people just kind of turns around as if like somebody's maybe walking close to them and they want to step out of the way, and they look down, and you see the male pick up one of these pieces of paper and just go, and then pick up like the other pieces and just kind of like try to hide them away. And the girl turns back and goes, "Are you sure?" And he goes, "Oh no, he'll be here. Just wait." She's just kind of like leaning up against the shop now, but has this really big smile. You make your way to the lift without any issue.
Perfect.
As that's happening, Shay, Morwen, and Akka all back in Yorn. What are you guys doing?
I'm looking for food.
Okay.
I'd probably like try to help them get food and then go help the gamble crew with the ship.
Okay.
Doing what I can.
Sure, no problem. Food's easy enough to find. In the northeastern hallway that kind of arches around the outside of the fortress, there is a large amount of the people from Squall's End who have kind of set up temporary housing, although still much like when you compare it to the Dwarven Quarter in Kol Taram or in Port Quinn at the very beginning of our campaign. That was like this ramshackle, thrown together place, well built because it is built by dwarves. This temporary housing has elements of beauty to it. There is like very fine workmanship you see, even in these really hastily built walls, like dovetail joints and like all kinds of little like artistic embellishments, even for this kind of temporary thing. An extension of the fact that just because something is temporary does not mean that it's important, or that it's not important. You make your way there, and there is kind of like communal food that's kind of cooked out in the middle of the hallway, and then these kind of tables lined up, wooden plates, very simple, but almost kind of like a oat-based porridge sort of thing. There's very little in the way of sugar or other kind of embellishments to it, but there is that. There's some dried berries.
Yeah. Beggars can't be choosers. I'm going for it.
Okay, yeah.
Have a bowl or
Yeah,
a plate, I
it
guess.
it is like eating Maj Podge basically in terms of the texture and the taste, but
I've had worse.
yeah, you can consider yourself fed.
Yeah, I've had much worse.
Well, I'm just gonna.
Just kind of like.
I'm
eating
gonna
my
like.
food.
Let's see.
Is Finn eating with us too?
Yeah, and he looks real disappointed about it. You know, he like takes a spoonful of this and just kind of like tries to drop it off. It doesn't come away from the spoon. He has to kind of like just push it a few times before it down onto the plate. But he eats it.
I'm gonna pull out one of my like whiskey-ish bottles.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna like kind of molasses it a little bit with some booze, and just be like, I'm not like to get drunk, but
Okay.
to make it taste better, and like maybe have a little bit of a buzz, and then I'm just gonna like
Not to get
nudge,
drunk, but just a little bit of a buzz.
yeah, and like not to get like
We're just
wasted.
tied to a
And then
tree.
I'm just gonna like nudge Finn a little bit, and
Oh
just
my
be like,
God.
and like pass him the bottle and be like,
Finn's gonna look and go, I mean, it literally can't be worse. And then throws a little bit in, passes it back to you.
Yeah.
You see he takes a mouthful and he goes, oh my God.
Can you?
That's worse.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Oh my.
He puts the plate down. I'm
You go
gonna
fish that?
No.
All right, I'm gonna go for it.
I think I'm gonna wait for Heinrich to come back. I think is what I'm gonna do.
Oh yeah, no, me too. Just for lunch.
Oh my God.
You want some? Yeah, lighten up.
Just booze all across your.
No,
it's like,
I won't actually, but it's gonna be a little bit of a heavier pour than I gave myself.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, in the middle of this kind of grayish porridge, there is now almost like for mashed potatoes when you make it like a little center part.
I was gonna say I want to make a little like what is it? The
Gravy
little
volcano.
Yeah, but
with-
with,
like the Mai Tai, like shot in the middle. I'm gonna light it on fire. Just
are you gonna light it on fire?
No,
Okay.
no.
So you're
Too bad, I
first of
should,
all,
though.
also worth noting, you're doing this at a communal table.
Yeah.
So there's these people who are eating the only food that they really have available to them in this refugee situation. And then Morwen and Finn dump alcohol into their porridge and then dump a ton of it into yours. Your little wooden plate now has a little booze volcano in it.
Is there any way I can like eat around it
It's liquid.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Yeah.
Without, like, well,
Say,
it's
don't-
like liquid into like a mush.
Don't
right?
breach
So
the
is
retaining wall.
Yeah, is the retaining wall still intact?
So if you want to talk about it scientifically, this is alcohol that is interacting with this kind
It's
of
like
crystalline
mush. It's
material.
true.
So what you're
That's just
seeing
gonna
is on the
dissolve it.
edges of this kind of cream
It's just a-
curling, almost like tendrils,
Oh,
as the
yeah.
elements of that porridge curdle.
Oh,
Eat it
yeah.
quick.
This is an Irish car bomb, but porridge and just
like-
infinitely worse than
Hurry
ever.
up. Hurry up. It's getting bad.
Porridge and cast strength.
I think I'm full.
Y'all are a bunch of bitches. All right, I'm taking all 3 balls.
That means
No,
you're also
I'm
drinking
not.
all
I'm
of that
not.
alcohol.
No. I can, no. I don't. I do not.
Well, I guess I'll wait for Heinrich too now.
You can see like there's like 4 or 5 people at this table, and all of them have like pushed their plates away. And yeah, so breakfast successfully ruined. You guys
For
have,
not just you, but everyone.
yeah.
I mean, my breakfast was fine.
Technically, it was sharing.
All right.
So what do you guys want to do now?
I was gonna go help Gamble.
That sounds boring.
I want to be helpful.
Yeah.
You should probably do that too.
Nah.
Since
But
you-
I'll go bother him a little bit.
Yeah. Okay.
So you guys are going to.
I'm gonna go to help Gamble and the group with making, or I guess fixing up the ship.
Okay,
And I'm going to follow.
fair enough. Shay, what are you doing?
Still training.
Morning monkey stuff, and then I want to go explore Yorn a little bit.
Okay,
Hell yeah,
cool,
let's
cool.
start fixing this place up for everyone.
yeah.
Can't
So
let them do it on their own.
very simply, to make this very quick, for Morwen and Akka.
I'd assume Finn?
Well, yeah, I'll roll for Finn. But for Morwen and Akka, can each of you? I'll tell you what.
I just meant, is he coming? I didn't realize you were...
Oh,
go ahead.
yeah, he's basically just gonna follow you. I mean,
Okay.
but for the
Out
moment,
of his element.
what skill are you? How are you going to help Gamble?
I mean, if artificing is an element of it, I think I could probably help with that in
Sure.
some way.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what spell are you using? A spell slot? What are you doing?
I mean,
What resources are you committing to this?
what's the task that they're doing? Are they just still cutting the?
Yeah. So a lot of it right now is cutting down the hull and reshaping it so that you can kind of form what is a functional aft portion from what would normally be the middle of the ship. It involves a lot of refinishing the interior so that you can make actual like structural changes to the craft.
So would it be smithing?
Yeah. You could absolutely use smithing.
All right, I would probably do some smithing or some tinkering, whichever one's more.
Both are relevant, so whichever one you want to use.
I guess I'll tinker.
There you go. Yeah, make a check using your tinker tools. Morwen, what are you doing to help?
Oh, I wasn't really gonna.
Okay.
I was just gonna be like, "Sup, G-man?"
Nice. Yeah, he'll talk to you. I mean,
Oh, 24.
24. Okay. So over the course of the next couple hours, especially with your use of artificing, there's an element to this where, generally speaking, when you split a ship in half, it causes some structural issues. Using artificing, you're able to take the damaged ends and sort of create more of an even plane, less even in the fact that it's like smooth and will join well with other things, and more even from like a molecular level. This is something that is no longer a damaged ship, it is just a piece. And that's most of what you work to accomplish, kind of making very minute alterations to the more mechanically inclined villagers. Basically kind of cleaning up after them. Very quickly, as this happens, you notice more and more Gamble kind of pausing and watching you. And by the end of this time, there is an element of a little bit more of that friendly demeanor back.
Yay!
Shay,
Yes.
make a survival check. And in particular, is there anything you're looking for?
Not so much particular, but
Generally something to punch.
influences from the ninth path still left over, if there are any.
Sure. Yeah, love that. What'd you roll?
21.
21.
The Niners.
From the Niners. Yeah, I forgot about the
There are
Niners.
40 of them.
Dang those Niners making their way through the playoffs.
Through the what?
The playoffs.
Alrighty, so... Okay. 21. You head out, kind of taking that cloud away from the float zone fortress. You see Yorn coming close with this huge mountain now kind of portioned towards the center, the northern part really. And you just kind of pick roads and begin to walk. And almost unconsciously begin to walk more and more in the direction of the aperture. Almost as if this place pulls you towards it. And there's an element where you kind of turn out into the broad alleyway that leads to the aperture at the end, where the end of Yorn just kind of falls away to the sky beneath. You remember here was the last time that you had seen, properly anyways, Crick. His form kind of plunging from a higher point to the aperture itself. There are interesting things about that to you still. Things that don't quite add up. Beyond the fact that this honor-bound monk who, to you, almost like the embodiment of what Zinni law is supposed to be. How that person could potentially turn in this way. Even more than Highland, who at least had this kind of, maybe not barbaric, but at the very least, this aggressive streak. For Crick especially, there's something that doesn't quite match up. And you turn right and kind of trace his flight path. As you do, you recognize it isn't the way that you had initially kind of thought about it. It wasn't flying from this kind of point. He had come from somewhere else. You trace your way up and you do find one of Crick's feathers and you kind of follow that and figure out that he kind of hooked around this building you thought he had originated from. And when you really trace it and walk all the way back, you come up to the back of the aperture itself. You can see the broken elements that at one point probably housed windows. And just on the other side, you can see, though Gamble and the monks did a very good job of cleaning it, still there's an unclean feeling to these open apertures to the sky beneath. But weirdly, this area, this kind of window, if Crick was here, he would have been able to talk to the people who were prisoner or interact with them. And so Crick had the opportunity to free them. He had the opportunity to free Era, and he didn't. But something about that is weird to you. You see in the floor here, as you look through the window, little parts where the light doesn't quite fall, areas where the bits of the breaker had burned their way down. And then up above you can see this aperture, although now much of the paper that had been kind of fluttering here cleared away. You can see, maybe from Gamble, elements of these original runes kind of now retraced and redrawn. You know Gamble pretty well. You see, almost kind of going back in time, this ghost of Gamble walking along the wall, his hand tracing paths in the dust, kind of redrawing these glyphs, trying to puzzle out what they mean, how they work. There's an element of this that Gamble's definitely interested in. Mm-hmm. And I would say with the 21, that is what you find. Morwen, is there anything in particular you want to talk to Gamble about, or are you just generally bothering him?
Just shooting the shit.
Flinging it more like.
Gamble, you want to smoke some pipe leaf?
I wouldn't decline that, no.
All right, can we use your pipe?
He reaches from
Can
the
I have
seat.
my, do you have something to smoke out of? Can we use it? Do you got any water? Any snacks?
Well, I have these Doritos. He pulls out this beautiful, long alabaster pipe shaped. The bowl is shaped like a wizard's face, and very gently he hands it over to you.
Oh, word. All right, I'm packing it with one of
I
my
see
3
this
uses
and
of
I'm like,
pipe
"Just
leaf.
Be careful with that.
Of course I'm going to be careful with it.
I squint.
Here, well, fine. If you're freaking out about it, G-Man, you mind holding on to it while I take a puff?
Campbell
she's
is like still
talking to
kind of
you.
looking over at the villagers and like watching, and he turns and goes,
Yeah, I think she means you.
G-Man.
Yeah. I mean, my name's not.
He
G
holds out his hands.
Okay. All right, I'll pack it with one use of the pipe leaf.
Okay,
I will
sure.
take a puff.
One
and
charge.
I will pass.
Puff, puff.
Make a
No
wisdom
need to
saving throw.
pass.
Oh, wait, why am I rolling a 6? Okay, hold on. What am I doing?
It's a wisdom saving throw.
9.
9.
Nice.
It's been sitting in your bag for some time, and conversely, you would imagine that it would like dry out and maybe lose potency, but maybe the fact that you store it in the same pouch as a bunch of disembodied fingers or other things of that nature, it stayed really well maintained. And its potency almost surprising to you.
Okay.
Yeah, you get pretty baked off this pipe leaf. Gamble
I
watches
love
you.
the orange.
And you see Gamble take a
Smoking that
very small
rotating.
puff originally. You can see he kind of wrinkles his nose. And where did you get this?
I got it in Dungannon.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that true? I thought you got it from the spice market at the beginning of our campaign.
No, I got this in
No.
Dungannon.
Okay,
I went
good.
drinking,
That's right.
and
And
then
you,
I was
hit
like,
up a dude outside the bar.
can I bum a cigarette? Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
I've never been, and I have not tasted something like this. This is interesting. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, Finn, you want in on this?
Yeah, and he kind of reaches forwards and takes this long pipe. You see for Finn, he kind of like awkwardly is holding it because it's for him not super long, but he watches like how Gamble does it, and he tries to kind of copy Gamble, but it's too short in his hand, so it becomes this kind of awkward thing. But he takes a puff and it seems relatively.
Fine.
No, he seems pretty baked too.
How is Gamble doing? Is he getting a little
Make an insight check.
goofy? Well, if I'm stoned, I also have advantage on this, just saying. Ooh! I rolled a 6 twice.
Just tinkering.
All right, cool. So that's an 8.
Good tinkering. An 8. That's roleplay for you. With an 8, hard to tell. Really, he's a monk and he's pretty stoic.
Hey, Gamble, you feeling it?
Yes.
All right. So now I'm just gonna be like stone giggling and try to be kind of I'm not trying to be annoying.
But
I
just-
hope that I'm not annoying.
Sure.
I want to make Gamble laugh.
Oh, don't think like that. Then you're just going to be thinking about how you're talking, and then you're going to forget
No,
how to talk.
oh, I don't give a shit. Honestly, the fact that I was tied up to a pole for like a whole day, like no
That's true.
shame
That's true.
anymore.
Oh, it's
So-
Wednesday.
Yeah. So
What shame to
I
begin
wouldn't-
with?
I wouldn't mind.
Sure.
Fair. Yeah. So I'm gonna be trying to. I'm buddying up with G-Man and
Sure.
Finn, and looking at Augur, be like, no, I'm just kidding. I'm
What
just
is-
kidding.
Make a what is your passive perception?
17.
Maybe it's this shared wavelength of the pipe leaf, right? You guys are enjoying this, and for you especially, things get kind of fuzzy and warm and kind of silly. And then, as you're trying to like buddy up to Gamble, you look, and at first he doesn't seem like he's affected, and you look again, and then you can't find him. You look off a little bit, and you can see standing in the kind of dark part of the ship, Gamble, just sort of leaning up against the wall, looking off and into the darkness. And for the first time for you anyways, you notice there is a difference to his eyes. As he looks, there is this almost pale sheen to them. When you had seen in the halls of Dharma, the listener, this Jinn, a very similar look in his eyes. There's an element to Gamble becoming the listener that is more than just an honorific. There are physical changes that seem to be happening, although very subtle. And then as you like think about that and are like, whoa, you kind of turn and Gamble's like walking towards you, just totally normal. But for that brief moment, there is something kind of strange.
Is the pipe leaf good?
Huh?
The good pipe leaf.
Yeah. I think.
As you're thinking that too, you hear in the background this like ting, 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 and then Aka's standing right next to you. Like, is that pipe leaf good?
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try it. You should try it sometime.
Like right now, maybe.
I don't know if we have any more.
Ting, ting.
I don't
Gets a
know,
little
man.
louder.
We've been smoking for a while now.
You should be like, no, I don't know where the sending stone is.
Yeah, I mean, you can ask Gamble if he's got any more in that pipe.
Tink, 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 tink.
Gamble, how you doing?
You see Gamble, oh, quite well. And he lights the last little bit in the bowl. Just a long pull.
Jeez.
Hello, Aka.
Yep.
How's that? What you doing?
Just tinkering.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
I
about
remember what I
done.
wanted to do. Gamble,
Yes.
check this out. I'm bringing out the funny broom.
The funny. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He kind of pulls back as you like wave the broom right in his face.
No, I'll like funny broom. Is it a funny?
What's funny about it?
I don't know. I just high.
May I see it?
Yeah.
It looks just sort of, and he takes it, and as soon as he touches it, he's like, oh. And he's going to take it and set it on the ground and just kind of squat over it and look at it a little bit.
I'm gonna copy him.
Okay, so now this is like the scene in Into the Spider-Verse, where it's like Spider-Man squatting down and then Miles Morales squatting down next to him.
And I'll be, yo, Finn, come over here.
Finn comes over and he goes, oh my
Bring it
god,
in.
my knees. All right, and he gets down too and kind of squats. What are we looking at?
The broom.
I'm gonna kind of.
He kinda, like,
We see you and we just huddle up. No, I'm really not bullying you. I'm just kidding. I just get a kick out of the idea.
This is a very interesting
I just
item.
want to have fun too, guys.
It isn't something I could give too much insight to you about. It is not a made item. This is something enchanted after a fashion.
Ooh.
An enchanted.
It's
broom.
unusual. Perhaps Heinrich will know more. This is of the Feywild.
Oh. All right. I'll just put it back in my Mary
could I-
Poppins bag.
Where did you find that?
That's a good question. I think. Oh, that was also in Dungannon.
It was.
Yeah.
Typically, those things are created by creatures of the Fey. Just be cautious about accepting gifts of that nature.
Right. All right.
Finn, and he turns and goes, can you please make sure that she's not accepting things from strangers? Finn is
I
like,
chuckle.
and he like stands up from the squatting position. You hear like tick, tick, his knees pop, and he just goes, I really can't, I can't stop Morwen from doing anything. Nobody really can, so, you know. Gamble nods and turns to you, Aka. Aka,
Yep.
could you please make sure that nobody in your party is accepting things like this? And he hands you the broom.
No, wait.
No, I've got the broom. I took the
Oh,
broom
you took it back. Okay, cool. You have it back.
I'll try my best. But, Finn's got a point.
So, Morwen, is there anything else that you need?
Need? No. Want? To party.
Very well. When you return, I'm sure there are those in the Floatstone Fortress that would party with you.
Oh,
Wait, what do you mean return? I'm not leaving yet.
Oh,
I'm way too paranoid to leave this area.
while I'm with Gamble, I'm gonna ask. I know that you're kind of pressed for resources up here, but do you happen to have any of these? And I'm gonna show him the lists from Mr. Gift and what's her face? The other
Drea?
list, Drea. Yeah.
he looks at the list. Vampire blood and ashes of dragons. What is this for?
Things for the collective.
These are reagents that are not things that I typically deal with.
Okay. Should have asked Heinrich while using Alberon.
You still can.
He's probably already on his way back. Plus, if he
On
gets
my
Do you
immediate
not
teleportation
have
way
the
back.
stone?
I have it.
Gave you the sending
I
stone.
have it.
So you could ask him.
Well, I already talked to him once, and then Morwen took it from me. So I feel like I don't really want to bother him anymore.
Oh, come on. Heinrich's our friend. I do it all the time.
Beep beep beep.
Why are you saying beep?
That's the thing that.
I didn't do that.
Heinrich.
Heinrich, you're aware that the sending stone.
Where am I? Are we at our destination?
At this point,
am
you
I
guys
still
are
invisible?
on this lift. So like
Oh, okay.
now, just kind of going across. And unlike
I'm assuming no
before-
longer invisible either.
No longer invisible. It takes a half an hour to get up there. So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
wears off pretty much in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
You get up about halfway. The lone occupants, the two of you on this lift, as it drops people off, then cycles back up. It's
I look at
beautiful.
the long, I don't know, metal chain link cord.
So you
rope?
don't actually see a cord. It's a long metal bar, and there's several pieces, so probably assembled like piecemeal.
Okay.
The chain or whatever it is that's housing it, or that is moving, is probably within the
Okay.
housing. But yeah, probably a chain or a rope.
So I just look all the way up and all the way down, like, wow, I should really put some more of these lifts on this circuit. It seems like such a waste.
And yeah, sure enough, it's just there's, and you never pass another car.
It's just one car.
As you rise up, though, you do see
Very inefficient.
kind of going down. It is almost like an umbrella,
Uh-huh.
and these are almost like
Counterweight.
express lifts that go up and down along the outside of Coltron. There are others,
Okay.
but only one car on each one.
Okay. Anyway. I'm
Heinrich.
taking a guess. Oh. I was gonna guess. Okay, hi, Aka.
Hey, yeah. Sorry, I forgot to ask earlier, but I just remembered. Could you, if it's not too much trouble,
I
I'm
like
gonna
look
list
around.
off all of the
I look
items.
around just like fully in the air, like too much trouble.
Also, just to add extra annoying, if you can hear the background, it's me and Finn cracking up.
What are these items?
You never sent me the list with the actual items.
Okay.
I have them both in here, but I don't have anything in them. But
One moment.
all of these things that I'm about to list off in a moment.
And if it's more than two, I audibly sigh.
You just if you can find any of them, you don't have to get them
How
all.
about this? Give me what you think would
probably
most
can't get
likely
them all.
be in a dwarven citadel that's rebuilding after a dragon attack and is low on resources already. What's the most likely one thing that they would have?
Let me just hold on. Let me just get
Get
this list
the-
out of my.
You pull out the Mr. Gifts list.
Okay.
Wyvern venom, dragon
Wyvern
glands, dragon scales.
I got the dragon scales.
golden eyes, ever weeping eyes, Shrenu kidneys, elemental ice, vampire's blood, red bone dust.
And red bone dust is the
Okay.
last one.
Dragon
Any of
scale.
those. I already got those. I
Dragon
crossed those
scale
off
you
the
already
list.
got. So what out of the things that you just listed are you actually looking for, and which one would be the most likely?
I mean, you would probably guess, given the fact that there was a dragon laying
The
siege
dragon
to this,
glands.
maybe the dragon glands or the
Maybe
dragon
the dra-
scales.
You got the
Yeah.
dragon glands. I've got the scales. I got them from Morwen. But yeah, if you got,
Dragon glands.
yeah, I feel
Okay.
like those are gonna be tough to. Should have got them before.
Yep. I will
You know, if you
see
can
what I
find
can
anything.
do.
I don't know if they have any specialty shops there.
That's not really a thing. But okay.
Well, try your best. Not a big deal. It's gonna take me a while to get all these things anyway. All right.
Okay.
Sorry again. See you soon.
Yeah. We're.
Okay. Bye.
Oh.
Karanza kind of like leans over your shoulder. What do they want?
I'll get added to the shopping list.
Okay, so
Yeah,
this is
I
like
mean,
a whole thing.
Here's the thing. It's actually kind of fortunate that the one thing that I picked off that list for him to, or the one thing he picked off that list. Whatever. We're heading up to the same area that we defeated Kindscale, who was a dragon who had glands. If they're still hanging on to them for some alchemical reason or whatever, might be able to get some or something.
You should probably talk to the Bearded Consortium about that kind of thing. They have all kinds of weird, like...
Yeah, well, they're like right, and I'm just like pointing up at roughly where I feel like they would be, because they're also on the Ring of Gold. Right?
Yes,
Yeah. Perfect. Like, good call. Yeah. I knew it was just, we're already heading this direction, so it's convenient.
Yeah, the other place, you know, if there was like a big dead body, if you could find like a mortuary, something like that, they might have pieces left over if it was something
I
valuable.
doubt that they would do that over at, oh god, I can't remember what it's called. We went there, too, the mortuary that they
We went to
have here.
several. Which one?
The one here in the top in the gold.
Runecarver's Temple.
Yeah, the Runecarver's Temple. So yeah, from the lift, based on your description, I think the Bearded Consortium is the closest.
Yep.
And then we'll swing by the Glow Estates for some golden apples. Sorry, I just request from literally everyone back there, so that's the one thing I can't not try to get. And then if they don't have it, the Bearded Consortium will end and then return from the Runecarver's Temple, and that's it. That's
a
it.
question about these golden apples.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that they're not like real gold.
You know, I didn't have one. I don't know, but
Did
apparently,
you hold one? Was it heavy?
again, I don't know. I think they're probably enchanted or something.
Here's the thing.
They basically said it tasted like your favorite memory.
Okay, that's weird. But also,
Yeah.
I can't do that. I can make temporarily. I'm a transmuter. I can make a golden
Yeah.
apple. So like, we don't need to go get them. We could just get like an apple. And
Well,
I
look,
can
I
make it
mean,
gold.
you know, depending on how long it takes the Beer Consortium, if they're gonna like send us on a fucking quest or like make us do an errand for them, or if it's
Yeah, I'm
not
not
immediately
doing
available,
that.
no, yeah, me neither. Especially not because this is like we're done with the important shit after we get Morwen's sword.
To make this 100% clear, this is not important to me either. I'm doing this for gamble.
Yeah. But like, you know, are you enjoying yourself here? Is it kind of fun? Is it kind of fun?
You know what? I didn't have to eat like the really shitty porridge that
Yeah,
I had
I
for
know,
like
right?
the last week in a row. So yeah.
Yeah, but like, look
It
at this
is
cool place too. It's not like freezing up in the air. It's, I don't know, it's a nice rebuilding, fun atmosphere.
Got the cool laser pointer.
Yeah, you got your laser pointer thing. You got a nice breakfast.
I don't know what a
fruit
laser is, but yeah, this is pretty cool.
bed. I don't know.
And you can see as you guys are kind of nearing the top of the lift, as you guys go by some of these houses, you can see
shines
Colorado
in the
just
window.
kinda shines in the window. There are not a lot of windows in Culturon,
Oh, right.
but every now and then as you go by, like
She's
people,
like, there's one.
yeah, he's kind of straight. And, there's
And
like this-
immediately the doors inside are like, I knew I shouldn't have installed this thing. And they brick it up.
you see, yeah, no, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, there's this one guy who's putting in a brand new window. He peels the tape away from it, and he's
Yeah.
like, and just right in his eye.
Yeah.
But you guys make your way up without problem, and you find your way into the Ring of Gold.
Perfect.
But because it is 10 o'clock, this
Okay.
is where we're going to take a quick break. It is 10:03. We're going to be back right around 10:15, so we'll see you then. Oop. Howdy, folks, and welcome back to Adventures in Alberon. Thank you for sticking with us through the break. We are going to just jump right back into some D&D. So give me 1 second here. I always want to know what this music is, and I always forget. So I'm going to try it. Oh, it's exciting. All right.
It's pretty epic.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
really.
Pretty epic from Morwen's high.
So Morwen. No.
Existential crisis.
So, yeah, you guys all getting stoned in Yorn. Heinrich, you guys make it to the top of the long yarn lift. Kind of going across the interior of the coal, you can see down across the mountain, you see these dozens and dozens and dozens of shelf-like protrusions from the mountain where entire neighborhoods rest. Construction is happening across most of the city. And even at this height, you can hear the din from hammers and saws and all kinds of construction noises. But as you get up and into the Ring of Gold proper, there is a transition point. 1 second. I'm going to turn down this epic music just a little bit. There's a transition point where you kind of pass a ring of just stone. Almost like you're in an elevator kind of transitioning from one ring to the next. And this lift almost perfectly bridges the gap, so it just passes through. And as you emerge, you see the Ring of Gold. There are a number of dwarves. You kind of just turn seeing the lift arrive. A few linger on you, but this being a little bit of a less populated place, there's not a crush around you again. At least not yet. Off to your right, down this beautiful cobbled stone street, there are benches off on either side, and these kind of artificial, well, they're real plants, but grown through the artificial light of the Dawnfather's ziggurat. You see up this tall tower that is the Tower of the Bearded Consortium, the Mage's Tower. Where is it that you're heading first? Are you heading there, or are you heading to...
If, in terms of the geographical layout, that's our only stop to the right.
Yeah, and then to the left.
And
is where
then
you're
everything
going.
else hit up on the way there. So there first to check for dragon glands.
Checking for glands.
Yeah.
All those other things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I thought you were going to go to the armory.
Yeah, I will. It's just
Maybe they'll have it there.
it's just inconvenient to go there and then back and then pass it again.
So I asked first.
And as you walk
don't
there,
know
you
I'm
do
doing
turn,
this in the most
looking
convenient
over
way.
your shoulder. Opposite, on the other side of the Ring of Gold, you see the staircase that rises up and up and up to the golden terrace above. This is literally the polar opposite part of the Ring of Gold. Not that it's a huge ring.
No.
But you can see it begins at base level and then rises 160 feet off the ground to the very top of Colteron. Just about 40 feet lower than the terrace proper. This tower is a structure of hollow arches that lead to a tapered dome. And at its base, you can see flanking these small circular doorway, like a hobbit door, but about 10 feet tall. There are two founding members of the consortium, these two statues. One's a huge dwarf that has this stone, almost halo of flames around him. The other, a little bit more of a meek dwarf, thin, very kind looking. You see a snake around one arm, a dog by the right side, and a wombat in his hair. A Colteron wombat. There are old vines that have covered the base of the tower and its statues, but they don't seem to climb past the second story. Do you enter? The door is open.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just go in. Only been in here once before, so I have no idea who to ask, so hopefully this can be quick.
Yeah, give me 1 second here. Da-da-da. It's just that music is too epic for the inside of like a. And that's not epic enough.
It's called the Bearded Consortium.
Yeah. Okay. Entering in, it is dark, and there are people here, although at this time in the morning, not a terrible amount of these scholarly types. 2 or 3 kind of walking through. It's dark and messy, but not like trashy messy. And you've been in here before. Piles and piles and piles of books, parchment. You see like map cases and little trolleys with books just piled high. Many of them smoke damaged, many like coated in ash. You would gather probably being almost rescued and restored from the surrounding city.
It's a familiar sight.
Yeah.
Literally just came from a similar version of that in Yorn.
Yeah, and Carranza has to stand almost right behind you. You guys walk single file. Every now and then, a dwarf kind of squeezes past. There are reagents, there are drawings, recipes kind of tacked to the wall. But you round a corner, and ahead of you, you can see this familiar doorway.
Mm-hmm.
Second, there's a bluish metal frame. A mooish metal frame. Bluish metal
Bleddle.
frame that surrounds a fire engine red door. And as you draw closer, you can see Carranza kind of peer at the knob, this glass knob, and pull back a little bit as the stick insect's still kind of moving around within.
Mm-hmm.
You know through this door there is like a teleportation chamber.
Yep.
But as you are doing all of this, you kind of see a figure stop in a hallway connected.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see gray eyes, a little bit of a 5 o'clock shadow despite the fact that it's the morning. A dwarf that you'd met previously.
You mean Belle?
It is, Beldane.
I happened to flip right to the page in my book.
So Belle is holding like 3 or 4 books. You remember he was reading a book previously and had been very eager to get back to it.
Yeah, the Lusty Argonian Maid or something.
It was, I don't remember.
Yeah.
It was I don't know, it's in my notes somewhere. But it is Belle. You see these very, very soft gray eyes, the sort of gray hair braided back. There's still a bald part, but it still falls down to about the shoulders if it's not braided. And he nods at you, kind of looks behind you, just sees Carranza, and kind of straightens up. But first of all, thank you for saving the city. Haven't seen you since.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Appreciate
We've had quite the journey. I'd assume that everyone else would say hello and also thank you for your assistance last time we were here and interacting.
I was just doing my job.
Yeah, you did it.
And then somebody scurries down the hall, and all of you have to kind of like suck into the side. He goes over and opens the door, and just, why don't you come in?
Thank you.
You step into this chamber, this kind of descending huge stone steps. You see elements of just strange arcane writing all across the wall. There is this weird dark. When you look up, there is an area that looks as if it held something, and the air around it is still dark. Like the air is stained. You see little bits of actually celestial glyphs, arcane celestial glyphs kind of spilled here and there. But teleportation circle in the center. Bell sets his books down on a desk with other books, including, I believe it is the Fisherman's Daughter.
Yeah.
Is the book that he had finished reading.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it was.
But, in turns,
Yeah.
what can we do for you?
So, we were here, just basically tying up some loose ends and everything, and another loose end was thrown my way. It seems that, if I remember correctly, it was the Gold Glow family or someone affiliated with them removed and, I'm assuming, put to use Kind Scale's remains. Would you happen to know anything about...
If the Gold Glows did it, you'll need to ask them.
I faintly remember because it was quite the hurried experience and we were quite... we just fought a dragon, so I don't remember much.
The
Was
Gold
kind of
Glows
coming off
claim the
of
corpse and everything attached to it, so
Yeah.
you would need to speak to them.
Okay.
They've been withdrawn over the last couple of months, not terribly popular.
Yeah,
the recent
I can
changes.
imagine, given things... You know what? Understood. Totally fine. Okay, yeah. So if they're withdrawn, are they like easily reachable, or is it going to be a hassle to even get an audience?
They don't post guards at the bottom of the stairs anymore, but they do at the
okay.
top. So
Yeah.
up to you to get by them when you get there.
I'll just look to Kranza. I tried.
Kronza turns it again. You know, I can turn apples to gold. So
Yeah, I know. How was the book, Belle?
The book.
How was the book? What
He
were you
turns
reading
up
last
the
time?
desk. Oh, it ended up being kind of a downer, but it wasn't a fisherman's daughter at all. It's kind of a misleading title when you get to the end of it.
Ah, Was it, the fisherman's daughter were the friends you made along the way?
No, it was a metaphor, really. Look,
okay.
he puts his other books down and kind of covers it up. I like reading all kinds of things, and I would love to get back to it.
Sure.
So if there's a place you need to go,
No,
I'm
it's
happy to
okay.
send you.
We're literally just passing through. Guess that's it. Just checking in, seeing how things are going. It was great to see you. Sorry, so brief, and sorry I didn't have much more.
Not a problem. Two things come to mind, though.
Uh-huh.
First, the first thought that I meant is if you see Guntir, just thank him. But I realize, too, I'm sure the Gold Glows understand that Guntir is partially responsible for the social movements that have happened here recently, and that sort of makes all of you a bit of a target for the Gold Glows.
Yeah.
I would just be cautious.
Yeah, I mean, we're not here long. It's fine. Leave you to it. How are you on the mobility of this society here? It's been so it's so weird just to be back here and I gotta be honest. It's kind of annoying to have to navigate all the people thanking me and stuff, but it's great to see so many happy people. It's weird, conflicting.
Sure.
Persuasion. Ugh, Jesus. Fucking 8. I almost rolled a 1 on that.
The Bearded Consortium makes sort of a priority to stay neutral. So
Totally fine. That's
you'll forgive me from recusing myself from that little bit.
no worries. That's all I got.
All right, well, have a pleasant day then.
You too.
You know
you
where
too.
the door is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of sits down behind the desk and
Yeah.
pops open the next book.
All right, in and out. 2 more stops, then we're done.
There you go.
All right.
Where are you headed next?
Next, we'll be going to the. Okay, so what's in terms of where we are? The sword or the garden, which is closer?
The garden being the Golden Terrace.
Yeah, where the apples are.
Yeah, so Clan Forged is the name of the smith place that you'd want to.
Okay,
go.
cool.
Sure.
Make our way on over there.
Yeah. You make your way over to Clan Forged, and easy to see. As you get to the main part of the road, hanging over 2 stone pillars with lanterns embedded into the stone itself, there's this wrought iron or basically wrought iron. It's a black metal of some kind that just says Clan Forged across it. And this huge twisty arrow that goes off to the left, and it leads to this almost open there is no roof to it. Almost to Carranza's point, one of the very few structures, it's we're inside. We probably don't need a roof. Also, as you approach, you feel the heat coming from it. So probably also a measure to vent the heat coming out. But drawing close, you can hear hammer falls and that kind of a thing. Outside, almost like wind chimes, there are dozens of daggers kind of hanging off the little eaves that come across. And so as you go through the currents of air that circulate through Kulturam, they kind of just jingle together a little bit as you go. The closest thing that dwarves probably have to wind chimes. But approaching the door is open.
Cool.
It is set to be probably it looks like at one point probably 2 arched doorways were in there and you could open them. It's slightly arched inwards. There are no doors currently hinged. This is always open. And as you enter, you can see in the middle this massive pit of almost like molten metal of some kind. And then around it, several kind of forge stations that have been set up. And here and there, you can see this early in the morning, maybe only 1 or 2 people, a little younger for dwarves. You imagine probably apprentices. And as your vision kind of goes across that area, there are 2 sets of stairs that go up, and then one kind of a smaller but singular forge station up. Currently not active, but you can see there is somebody kind of moving around up there.
Okay. Does anyone look like they're in charge?
Probably that person,
Perfect.
But there is one of these younger dwarves who kind of pops up to you and just first looks at Carranza and you kind of curiously, as you are significantly taller than everybody else in here. Hello.
Hi. Good morning? Is it even morning still?
Yeah, no, it's morning.
Good morning. Sorry, not a little disoriented underground. Sorry. Do you guys have a shop front or someone I could speak to about just getting a short sword?
You've never been to Clanforge before.
I have not.
So Clan Forge, we work as sort of like an apprenticeship program. And he points over to the one other person there who just, kind of points up, and you can see he's working on. He is like in Skyrim, where you're just dagger. It's like a pile of daggers next to him, and they all look like shit.
Sure, yeah.
But he turns and says, "So you can get things made at pretty much of a discount if you need to, and we can make pretty much whatever you need, depending on who's working today. You want to talk to the Forge Master about getting like prices and things like that set up. But what are you looking for?
Well, do you have anything that's like finished? Do you have like a shop front, or is it literally just only by commission?
So technically kind of by commission, but one of the things is it's a practice space. So, Olenak was here yesterday. Olenak was here yesterday, and I think he banged out like 3 short swords. You're looking for one of those. We got a guy who does spearheads. He's been doing them for like 4 weeks. So I think we probably got something on the order, like 200 of those. If you're looking for arrowheads, I can't even tell you how many arrowheads we have. We got bags and bags and bags of them. And they're all pretty shitty, but, they're cheap. So if you needed something real nice, we could make you, like, platinum arrowheads, whatever you need. What are you thinking?
Well, let's go talk to the Forge Master, why don't we, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Give me a sec. I'll get him for you.
Sure.
Kind of scampers off and up, and you see talking to this individual.
That's what you're getting.
Is this as he stands up? It looks like a normal
bag of shitties.
Yeah.
It looks like a normal dwarf, but as he stands up, it's the head that's normal, and the body is just like bulbous and round. And at first, as he shifts, you imagine it's going to be like this like block of just like blob. But as he moves, it is a very sturdy form. And though he doesn't look muscular traditionally, there is something solid about this dwarf. Like big, he's got like the dad belly, but like just real sturdy looking. You imagine you could punch him in the stomach, and though it's like round, that would hurt your hand.
Yeah.
But he kind of makes his way down the steps, taller than all the other dwarves. He's probably standing close to 5 feet tall. It's like a Guntir-sized dwarf. But he makes his way down to you. He offers a hand, and you can see the hand has like burns and calluses, and you can see areas where the skin has split and healed over so many times that the scar tissue in parts of it really just outnumbers the regular skin. But he offers his hand out. So, what are you looking for?
Well,
you got to speak up. I've been working in the forge for about 200 years.
All right. Thaumaturgy.
You see everybody else kind of winces backwards, but he's just kind of leans
I'm
over.
talking normally, just with my voice
much
much bigger. I'm not... just crank it up. Yeah. Friend's looking for a short sword, one that she had, quite exemplary, incredibly sharp, could cut, paper into 2 new pieces
Oh,
of paper.
yeah, you want a short sword?
Yep.
I got something like that.
Let's go see what you have.
Well, hang on. Wait right there.
Okay.
Yeah, and he heads back up, goes up these kind of things. You see the other dwarf kind of watches him and just goes, he's kind of particular about the way he likes things. So you just kind of...
I got it.
You hear shing, and then like scatters. You see down the other steps this kind of shitty sword like topple over. The blade strikes the ground and just skitters, completely dull. You see the head pop up above a table. No, not that one! Goes down and eventually comes back with wrapped up in like a nice leather, not a sheath, but just designed so that you can carry it around without injuring yourself.
To-go bag.
Yeah, and as soon as he brings it down, you can see there is something very different about this sword versus the other kind of
I have detect
makeshift
magic.
stuff. Sure, not magical by any means.
Well, then there's no replacing butts.
Yeah, and with detect magic
That's
up,
magic.
I thought butts was a +1.
But it wasn't magic.
+1 is magic.
Is it?
yeah. Now, True Butts though was +1, not magical. True Butts was.
That's what I'm saying.
True Butts was crafted by somebody who has that capability.
I see.
In Alberon, there are 3 or 4 people who are able to create non-magical items with bonuses due to like crafting related things.
Well, that's what I thought. I think I would know if butts was magic.
Yeah,
Magic butts.
magic butts.
I would
So
know.
you,
Yeah, school butts. Let's not.
It's been a while.
yeah, that's fair. So, as he brings it down, you can see the handle is the first thing that makes it very different. Not mundane. This is a little bit more ornate. the handle itself, the part that you hold, looks as if it's like carved for fingers to find the grip, like very much. It would be hard to hold wrong, and in that way, it might be a little bit unbalanced for somebody. It kind of depends. Around the outside, that holds the I'm forgetting the word, the pommel of it. It's shaped to be, at first, it looks like a kind of chaotic bit of metal, but as you turn it in the light, you can see the actual part of light that falls down, almost like constellations or something, which is weird for dwarves.
No.
Pulling it out, you can see the blade is like almost like a chrome finish. This perfectly fine, smooth metal. And as he pulls it away, you can hear the keenness of the metal as it slides from the leather. Even the leather itself kind of splits where the blade touches it. Very well made.
Okay. I have no experience with weapons other than a spear in one combat.
Oh yeah, well this is a fine sword, let me tell you. He shuffles it over to you.
Kranza, do you mind doing a little like material checking on this? You
What?
transmuter, right? Like, does this? I don't know. Do you know anything more about swords?
Yeah, a little. She's gonna kind of just lean over
Is
it.
there something funky about this?
No, I mean, it's a sword. I'm not.
No, it's okay. You said transmuter. I figured you had an understanding of mineral material stuff.
I mean, it's well made.
Yeah.
I can see that it's pretty solid, and the feeling that I get from it is I could very successfully turn it into something else, which typically means on a molecular level, it's like
Good quality.
It's pretty consistent.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna do my best to investigate its quality and make if it's dwarven or not, because it doesn't sound like it based on
Make
that.
a history check.
Damn.
What are you going for there? What are you trying to get?
Yeah, like any markings or writings or anything like that would give me more insight into it. Not that I would know about the history of it, but based on all the weapons that I've been around that have been gathered and stuff, but like comparing it materialistically.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Make a survival check.
Not investigation.
You can make an investigation
Yeah.
check if you want to look for like small markings and things like
Yeah,
that.
that
Sure.
that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Just to see what that would yield. I'll piece
Yeah.
it together myself from
Why not?
there, but just using that's how I'm looking at this. That's how Heinrich's brain is working, which is also why he's got a nice +6 on it, which makes it a 21.
So you take a look at this, and there are elements of it. First of all, certainly dwarven made.
Yeah.
And just in terms of the geometric angles of the blade and the fact that where it comes to a tip, it's definitely like a thrusting tip meant to go through heavy armor, not a slashing tip designed to go against leather necessarily. Yeah, definitely dwarven made.
Okay.
And as you look at it, he sees you kind of investigating the pommel, and he just goes, "Yeah, that's a center of the earth constellation right there. Prized by dwarves for years, that right there. See, you have an eye for detail?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to want that. 20 gold pieces for you."
I'll lean over to Carranza, forgetting to turn off thaumaturgy, and be like, and it's a really like yell whisper because I'm still thaumaturgy. Be like, "Wow, what a salesman!"
"Oh, yeah!"
No.
He kind of nods to you and goes, "I'll sell you something else, too." And he kind of just goes back up to his workshop. You hear just things like slamming and shuffling around.
Yeah.
And he's going to come back down, and he brings with him this beautiful shield wrapped in cloth. And pulling it away, it's almost mirror perfect, the reflection off of this thing. Similar to the blade in whatever material has been used. So much so that it is better than most of the mirrors that you've seen. Again, not magical.
Yeah.
But
Did you make these?
oh no, not these.
Where did you get them?
Oh, we got an apprentice. Comes in on Tuesdays.
Who's this apprentice?
Thanmore.
From Coldrum?
Yeah.
Okay. Noted. He said 20 for the sword. That's what,
20
that's
gold
what,
pieces
yeah, that's what he
for it.
said for the sword.
Yeah.
15 gold pieces.
For what? Is he just
The
saying
shield.
for the shield?
Right? I assume.
For the sword.
For the sword?
He doesn't remember. He's not
No,
a
that's
sword.
fine. It's a nice combo set there. Hate to pull them apart. So how about 20 for the set. Call it a day.
Yeah! And he just takes them and hands them over to you.
All right.
I've had these for a long time.
Nice. 15 gold, just like we said.
Takes the 15, doesn't count it, puts it in his pocket.
I gave him 10.
Holds out a hand, like happy to do business.
I
with
gave
you.
him 10 because I'm just like, what the fuck is this place?
Can he count?
Interestingly enough, as you hand him the 10 gold, he takes it. Goes, whoa, 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 there, partner. A little short.
No, you're quite tall.
Agreed on 15.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry. And then like sleight of hand, like pick up the last ones off the ground. Must have fallen. Like I deceptively doing this
Yeah.
actively. Is there?
Trying to switch.
I was trying to go
That's the
slow.
problem with having such delicate fingers like that. You just fall right through. Not a problem, sir. Plucks the 5 gold from
It
you.
falls right off. Like his fingers just
Falls right off the bone.
they're so
Right off the
fragile.
bone, those fingers.
Okay.
He nods to you.
A whole gang of them.
Gang.
Thanks for going to Clanford.
Yeah. Thank you for being here.
It's my job, but if you need to rent space, 3 silver a day, long as you need.
Noted.
Noted.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna like see you next time.
And you
I
turn
didn't
around
even get his name. I'm leaving. I'm like, oh my god.
Sure. Back
Just
away.
like to Kronz, I'm like, you okay?
I was like, it's kind of loud in there.
Yeah.
Like
Jesus.
compared to being around Morwen and all, that's loud.
Yeah.
So
I'm just gonna go ahead and like, given that my shield from the start was like an old
buckler.
red something,
Oh, it's a red shield.
red
buckler,
shield.
yeah.
Like, yeah, this is probably better.
Significant.
Okay, great.
In
I'll-
terms of like mechanics, not necessarily.
yeah, but
yeah,
it's like
it looks a lot
larger
better.
cover area. It's a
Yes.
fucking mirror.
Yeah.
All right.
It's got like a mirror finish to it, and when
Yeah,
you
yeah.
look at it, like the kind of element on the outside of it has like a very pale blue sheen, almost hard to tell, but a little bit different than the interior of the
And
metal.
then chrome sword with star pommel. Right? That's easy enough to write.
With which pommel?
Chrome sword with star pommel.
Sure, it's like a constellation pommel
Yeah.
specifically, or a world core constellation, whatever that is.
Okay. I'll write that specifically down. Alright, off to a vantage point from the gold glow without drawing attention.
And you make your way up to
Yeah.
a vantage point, the closest one.
Yeah.
It's difficult because
Trying to find like that area, if I remember, because we spent a lot of time up here, but like it was a courtyard and it's not like the place is walled off or anything, so there might be a place where I could see.
so it's 40 feet taller than the Tower of Mages, which is by far the tallest structure here. You can kind of see from a distance, from the top of the Dawnfather ziggurat, where that glowing daylight gem is. That would be probably the closest that you can see, and at that distance, not a whole lot.
No, yeah. I'm trying to get within like.
Shay was able to see a lot.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to get within like 60 feet of a tree where there's no one around.
Okay, so to paint this picture, this is like the edge of the wall, right? And there's
Yeah.
a staircase that goes straight up.
Yeah, and at the top of
And
the
at the
stairs there are
top-
the guards.
There are the guards, and then behind that is this orchard. There's these walls with the golden grapes, and then behind the golden grapes, there are these orchards with like the trees and the golden apples, dark green leaves. The
Yeah.
branches kind of weighed down,
Okay.
although less so in many places now.
Okay. Yeah. This is taking too long. Let's find like a market with apples and just have Karanza do her thing.
No problem. Mark off 1 copper piece, and you return with
I'm not
3
fucking
quote
doing that.
gold apples
Yeah.
unquote.
Yeah.
This is gonna be such a letdown.
It's the only
Yeah,
time
with
I've
all the other
received
shit
a
you don't know is
solid
coming to
gold
you.
Apple is a letdown.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll just be like, all right, yeah, let's do that. Like, I'm gonna try to find the ones that are just like the same, because they were distinctive, same like shape-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close.
Comparable.
Close
And then like once we set that, I'll be like, I think that's everything. So whenever you're ready.
You ready?
Yeah, I mean,
All right.
thank you for being so patient. Hope you had some kind of fun.
She looks at the ring on her finger and goes, I'll figure something out. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
All right, hands on the shoulders. Let's go.
Yep. Done.
and then you feel the world lurch forwards, and all of a sudden, it is markedly colder.
Cool.
You find yourself within the courtyard of the Floatstone Fortress, and very surprised. You just hear, "Oh,
Yeah.
hi there!" This little blue grunt with his cowboy boots, kind of holding a rock, just acknowledges your presence.
Hey, Guntir, Glub.
Oh, hi.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. I'm just moving my rocks like I do every day.
Awesome.
Did you know I'm a criminal?
No, you're not. That's ridiculous.
Oh, that makes much more sense.
Yeah. All you're doing is helping people by moving rocks. Do you even know what criminals do?
Well, I know they're bad.
Okay.
I think Finn's a criminal.
Go on.
That's all.
Yeah, see, are you any of those things you just said?
Well, I'm not Finn. But Finn said I was a criminal. So I'm a criminal now.
Well, I'm gonna let you know something. You're not a criminal.
Gee, I'm going to have to think about this.
Yeah.
He takes his rock and he kind of, in his cowboy boots,
His
waddles
lullaby.
over to the wall, and he just kind of puts his back to the wall and slides down. Totally the same expression, but the eyes kind of glaze over, and he's just like thinking.
Did Morwen tell you we're gonna bring you on a trip to Dungannon at some point?
No response.
Oh, jeez.
You broke him.
You pushed his thought process to as far as they could go in their current state. Yeah.
I want
Alright.
those night screams.
He's got the beach ball.
Yeah. The loading cat.
Make sure I talk to him. You just hear dun.
Yeah. Just gotta wait for that. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
All right. Where is everyone?
Still
No one that I mean, Boron is here, obviously, but
Yeah, nobody that you recognize is in the courtyard. There's a handful of villagers. You see like a group of little kids, one of whom seems kind of upset. You see none of the Zinyi necessarily. They're probably all towards the northern tower. Yeah, not a whole lot of people you see. I'll let you know.
let's check out how that ship's going then. Kronz, again, thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. I got a thing I want to do. I'll see you.
Yeah.
She kind of heads off towards the lower binders. Still very much kind of like looking at the ring.
Yeah.
You, without any issue, can make your way there.
Perfect.
How are you getting to the little crescent-shaped courtyard thing? Same thing?
Yeah. Same.
Cool. High-level spell.
Yep. Exactly.
Dimension door yourself to
Yep.
a different teleporter,
Yep.
and then lift
Because
off
it's
in
more
this
than
cloud.
600 feet away, so.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it'd be cool if you could just skip the whole thing.
Yeah.
Um,
500 feet. Sorry. Whatever.
you hear the sounds of hammers. You smell weirdly in Yorn, in this ancient cloud giant city that is full of mystery and wonder and reverence. You smell pipe leaf.
I follow that.
Yeah. And you're like, okay. And making your way towards that aroma, you find Gamble and Morwen and 3 villagers and Meliora, all kind of clustered around and working on this structure. Now, smaller than it was before.
Yeah. I come up to the
How
side
long
of.
has it been?
I come up to the side of Morwen with my new
It's about noon.
mirror shield.
No, but I mean, how am I still high?
You're probably coming down right to the end of it.
Am I
Oh,
still
okay.
tinking?
Yeah.
Tink.
I'm gonna come up to, I'm assuming Morwen's just staring at the ship or people working or something like that. So I'm gonna come up to the blind side with my shield and be like, hey Morwen, check this out. It's just
I'm gonna-
it's just like a gigantic, slightly concave lens of just
I think I'm gonna just have that last giggle
Sunlight's
fit
pretty high.
at this.
hey look, and it's just
Where
like
it's like you're kind of tired, and then you're like, it's like for 20 minutes,
420
and
minutes.
that's it. Yes.
In 69 seconds.
Nice.
So, I can't believe that's what I'm supposed to. Anyways.
21 minutes and 9 seconds. Okay.
Anyways. Gamble comes to the sound of this laughing and just, oh, hello, Heinrich.
Hey, Gamble, how are you?
I'm well. How was your trip? Did you find what you were looking for?
And then some.
Where's my
Coltram
apples?
is coming along.
I'm
A
starving.
lot of changes. Yeah.
Did you find any of the ingredients on this?
No, because the gold glows. You know what? The short end of it is basically those who were able to harvest the body have shut themselves off from the entire city. That's the easiest way to explain it. That's it.
Okay. That.
Anyways, Gamble. While I was there, I was reminded of our last journey through there and something that you might want to take a look at. I don't know really much about it, how it works, but did I even know it's called an arc light? I do, right? I think I asked my book.
Yes,
about
you
it.
did. Yes,
Yeah,
you did.
okay.
That's how you learned it was called an arc light.
I
Yeah.
think it's something called an arc light, and this is the reagent that activated it. And this is from like an ancient, someone called Dinman, his ward that's underneath the coal.
Dinman's ward.
Yeah,
An elf.
Does any of
I
this
think
ring
so.
any bells for
you
me?
you had
Make a
instructed
history check
us.
at advantage.
You had instructed us, the whole rat tunnels and all that stuff.
Yes.
To like avoid it, but we ended up having to go through it, and there was a lot of really cool shit in there. Like a lot of really cool shit.
Gerard Dinman.
Yeah,
If that
that's the
is
one.
his real name.
Yeah. He made like a bunch of these things called Azers, and
Yes.
like this one called the Perfect Azer, which
I've
I have
met the
drawings for that if you want those too.
I have met the man.
Oh my god, okay.
Very technically, he was a part of the Shadow Scouts when we first began.
Oh.
He's not still.
We never saw any regular living humanoid creature in there. To be very technical.
Mechanical?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Elementally mechanical and angry.
That would track.
Torturous and violent and brutal and all that kind of stuff.
That is unusual.
Yeah, it seemed pretty twisted. There was a whole room with like chains and like people suspended in orbs and
The orbs, that's understandable in terms of security. The chains and the
standard.
body pieces.
yeah.
Gerard was many things, but he was not like that.
I mean, Kindskill ruled over the area for a while, maybe like seeped down its mind. There was a portal to the Shadowfell
I'm sorry. To the shadow.
in his workshop. So there was some.
Like an active.
Oh yeah, one of the people that we saved from the orbs, named Anasu, went through it and disappeared. In fact,
You can see.
I have two
I'm
things to
smiling,
do.
but you can see Gamble is looking more and more incredulous
Yeah.
at this because he says, "How long have I known you for, Heinrich?"
3 months, and we've spent maybe a total of like 2 weeks in each other's presence at most.
But this is all things that have happened between the time that we've known each other.
Yeah, but a lot of stuff is consistently happening, and we're always feeling like we're rushing, so it's very hard to remember everything.
This Dinman,
Yeah.
when he arrived in Colteram, he
Okay.
had come from Everest. And there were whispers that the things that he were fleeing from, this pursuit of almost godlike abilities, the ability to create life, he believed that tapping into the elemental planes was the first step in progressing towards the planes of negative and positive energy. The ability to generate life as we were once generated.
Uh-huh.
He was not twisted.
Okay.
Unethical, yes.
Yeah.
That does bear some looking into.
Yeah, it sounds like you might want to. I just assumed that this was just some mad scientist layer the whole time, but...
What do you know of artificing?
I got a 27.
Okay. As you overhear this, you would know a little bit about Gerard Didman, although
yeah.
actually connected slightly differently than...
I'm like holding the arc light out too, like offering it to him.
Yeah, and he's going to take it and kind of look at it. He is going to take him some examination to really understand.
Yeah.
what
He
it
can
is.
have it. It's fine. I'm gonna just remove from
Okay, so hang on one
inventory. But do note that he has an arc light
Oh, yeah.
reagent tuned to the crystal flower, if that matters.
The crystal flower is the arc light.
Oh, it is the crystal flower, right?
yeah,
I
so
thought they were just like different shaped arc lights.
The arc light reagent can look almost like anything,
Okay,
but
okay.
the crystal flower thing is the arc light itself.
Right.
Just give me 1 second here.
I love this like gravitas behind him, hearing me tell this all over Guntir's theme.
So first, what you hear is from Gamble, and I'll get to yours after because you hear this, and then there's more that you know.
Oh.
Gamble tells you there's whispers that when he came from Everest, he was fleeing something far worse. He came from the Emerald Spire, but prior to that, there is some thought that he is connected to the fall of the Onyx Spire. Similarly created creatures that ran amok. I wonder what his origins really are. I doubt if he is still active, as you suggest, that his origins are as he mentioned. That being said, working within the Shadowfell borders on madness. It could be that he fell to whatever it is that drove Kindscale to madness.
Yeah, it's gonna take some thinking about.
Indeed.
Yeah.
What you know about Gerard Didman, there is mention in a lot of like the Fazarakian workings of this individual who stole many of the techniques from the Skald. This is in the Second Age. This is prior to the emergence of elves, so the fact that this guy is an elf doesn't really make sense. A lot of this is to suggest that this is in fact an Eladrin, who predates the emergence of the elves through an event called the Spire Phase, which is when the Spires emerged into Alberon, mostly in Everest, although one south of Dominion. This individual is known to have, in several locations across Alberon, plied their trade under different names, always seeking in some way or another to create life, to create beings. And at first, there were certainly some elements of necromancy that were used. This is back in Everest, and you don't know a ton about that. These are things that you've maybe kind of heard. This is a figure that's almost legendary. There are people who definitely don't believe that he ever existed, but there's lots of evidence to point to the fact that he has. He created the Azers, these creatures of elemental fire infused into metal bodies, although most kind of lost. There are a few kind of trafficked actually in Derby, pretty primarily. That's kind of what you'd know. But somebody who stole the secrets of the Skald and sort of like an arch nemesis to them, almost.
So I probably have a pretty negative painting of him.
Probably, yeah.
From how I've been told.
Almost everybody does, truthfully, but just for different reasons. Throughout history, he's worked as a tinkerer, a cobbler, just various kind of craft-like trades, always as more of like a front for whatever it is that he's actually doing.
Okay. Weird. Don't have anything to use that information
Fair enough.
right now.
So, as the sun begins to kind of drop on the other side of noon, what are you guys doing?
Gifts.
Tink.
What was the Clan Forge guy's name? I'm just gonna note it down here.
I don't
The one who like made the stuff apparently.
Oh,
Thor.
Oh, Thamor.
Thamor.
Yeah.
Thamor. Thaymor.
Okay.
That was close.
Okay. Anyways. Yeah.
Tink. Tink.
All right, Morwen. Got you some stuff.
Yay!
Things that you asked for.
Gimme.
And some things you didn't because, holy crap, Edelweiss's Edelweiss's store, and I'll catch you up on that. As if you weren't here sitting to the entire exposition that we went through.
Did you get the golden apples? I'm curious what makes them so special.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
I haven't had one yet.
Did you
but
ever?
The trees were looking kind of sad, like the gold glows weren't taking care of the place anymore. They kind of like reclused into the building, I guess.
Oh, what
It's
losers.
kind of hard. I like had to use my cool new ring to get them. I'm just like making up this whole fucking story about how I like scaled the wall and like, you know, ducked the guards and like pulled their... Yeah, because
Unbelievable
check
does
out
this
this.
sound.
Because
Make an insight check.
I mean, I'm trying to make it as
I'm also
convincing as
gonna
possible. I like couldn't think of the whole story right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to believe you, but I'm just like, Heinrich, you did what? 14.
I tested out.
Mine was 21.
So Morwen, it's surprising.
Yeah.
But there is this kind of like bad boy side of Heinrich apparently, like breaking and entering, stealing
Heinrich, I didn't know you
an
got
apple.
sexy.
Wait.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna be honest. It was really just like you utilizing this awesome new ring. Check this out, and like I'll take out one of the apples and just be like, here, and then right over to you from like 10 feet
Can I try
away,
to eat it while it's in the air?
and I'll just just kidding. Here you go.
Okay.
I'm gonna drop it. Like drop.
Oh, gotcha.
As you catch it, you go to catch it like it's an apple. It's solid gold. And so
So
you're,
does it hurt my hand?
So you drop it. It goes right through your fingers. And
Oh.
you're like, what the fuck?
I
And
figured it was like,
into the ground.
Oh wow,
Um,
they really rottened up.
So wait, is it actually?
all right, I'm
gold?
staring at
Hold
it.
on
'cause
a
I know,
second.
I know me some gold.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out some gold too, like one of the apples too, and I'll just like pass them around. Be like, what the hell?
Now having this,
yeah.
and already suspecting Heinrich because that he doesn't steal shit.
Yeah.
What is he?
Yeah.
What's his?
I'm
What's
looking
he playing at?
Make an
here?
investigation. What are you trying to find
for
out?
what it's
Well, I
worth.
tried to insight him.
For what it's worth,
And
to
I got
confuse
the
it even more.
21,
Okay.
And then,
You get the sense that Heinrich is not telling the truth about how he got these.
Yeah.
okay.
Beyond that, kind of hard to tell. But like, you know, when you hear Heinrich saying that he like the fact that he's saying that he did something illegal already is kind of like, all right, this isn't Heinrich.
So is this actually solid gold now? That
Make an investigation check.
Yeah.
I would also
Like,
like,
I
to
knew
check
they
mine.
looked-
Make an
I
investigation
know me
check.
some gold.
I knew they looked funky. This is bizarre.
That's a dirty 20.
Sure, looks like it.
7.
So is this
Hard to tell.
Really?
Yeah.
is this what they? Do I eat it?
I wouldn't. They weren't this
I'm gonna
heavy
be honest.
before.
These aren't the apples I requested.
No.
These
But,
aren't the-
Well, here you can have mine.
no, it's okay. I can't even pick up this one.
When you can't
I'm
even pick
gonna
it up.
Put it in my bag.
How heavy is it? Can I
You
bring
reach
it?
down and what's your strength?
10.
Gold isn't that
Oh yeah,
heavy.
you kind of pick it up. It's heavy. It's like way heavier than it should be.
Yeah.
It's not like otherworldly heavy, but it's a golden apple.
Yeah, I'd say like 2 pounds probably, given that bars.
2 to 3, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, thanks, but hey, Gamble, you want to buy this apple off me?
I mean, it's fine. Look, I'll keep them for like
No,
a utilitarian
I'll keep it.
situation.
No, you got it for me. I want it.
Yeah. And here, you can have this one
Gamble, do you
Yes.
want to buy this off of me?
What do you mean?
This apple?
What about it?
It's gold.
It is.
Okay. Well,
Well.
never mind then.
too. Let's move on here.
One
Here's
golden apple.
2. You can have 2.
Oh,
I
no,
don't
I'll
even know
give
how
one
many.
a Finn.
I don't know how many we bought.
3. is
Sure.
What I in my brain. is
Perfect.
what
That's
I
fine. So
thought,
Akka has one, and you have 2 now.
No, I gave one to Finn.
Okay, you gave one to Finn. So Finn
This isn't what I meant. The one that I wanted was edible, but here
Finn's
you
gonna
go.
take and go. "Ooh,
I mean,
this is a
you can buy
this is a
an
golden
apple.
apple.
With this
We
one. You can buy like a lot of apples with this.
I would
Well,
say
yeah, but
at
you
least-
haven't had the gold apples that I was requesting, so I understand why you might be happy with this one.
I'm gonna
I
like
mean,
while they're
but
talking,
I
just
was
sit
trying to
down and
party,
start laying all the things
and I
out.
wanted those other gold apples.
Do you guys all have a passive perception above 15?
Yes.
yes.
So you guys notice out of the corner of your eye, Finn just kind of like just takes a little lick and kind of looks disgusted. Kind of rubs it off on his hand.
Yeah.
He tries to make sure that nobody sees that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Did it taste good?
You say that to Finn? No. No, I don't know. She said it was.
Yeah. These aren't edible at all.
No, these ones aren't. Heinrich got the wrong ones, and although I do appreciate it, these aren't the ones that I
Look,
requested.
I dragged Carranza way longer than she needed to be there.
I don't blame you.
For
All
this
I'm
stuff.
saying is just that it is
Don't
incorrect.
blame you.
No, I'm not angry.
All right, well,
Sounds
look.
good.
I'm not
Well,
angry.
look,
It's
look,
just
look.
it was wrong, but
Well,
I
look.
appreciate your
Look,
time.
look,
Could
look.
you
Here.
at least get out your button? Because there was the porridge and
You know what?
then Morwen poured whiskey in mine, so
Where's
I'm pretty
Shay?
hungry.
Where's Shay?
I'm
Oh,
hungry.
did you get me my sword?
Do you have food?
It's fucking children.
Are you joining them once you do? Oh
I'm,
yeah.
I'm still out.
No idea.
Where is Shay? Does anyone know where Shay went?
Shay was training. I walked there already.
I haven't
Once.
seen Shay in, I think, a day because I was tied to a pole.
Right.
Oh, you knew that?
Yeah.
Heinrich did it.
Oh.
No. Oh my god.
I don't know who to trust anymore.
Gamble, do you need any help with the ship? I'm not really terribly good with anything. Any like brute force labor?
Did you get me
Gamble's
my
watching all of this, and you can. There's a strange look to him. Although looking at Morwen, who's like coming down off her high, you would imagine he probably just smoked a bunch of pipe leaf. But he looks at Akka, who's just sitting there, kind of still tinkering away, and he says, "We're ahead of schedule. I think we're doing quite well.
Nice.
Yes. At the moment, I think we're all set. But thank you."
Great. Okay.
Can I have my sword? Did you get me a sword? Please.
Morwen, do you need a sword?
She
Yes,
threw
I do.
one of them over the side.
Look. Yeah, I got you a sword, but you gotta realize, like, I just went on an errand and added on time and effort.
And it was appreciated.
It doesn't feel it. Doesn't
Thank
feel
you,
it
Heinrich.
at all.
Here
Well, did
is
you get
a
Yeah, enough from you.
golden apple for
I
your
said
troubles.
it was fine that you didn't get anything. I'm happy to have the apple.
Hey!
Now
I don't know why I'm getting all of the hostility.
Here's
And
Let me
Akka,
give
as
you a
you,
gift.
I'm focusing on Morwen right now.
Akka, as you hold out the apple, like, you got me the apple. It's a mundane apple.
What? What did you do?
What? Oh,
Morwen,
you can
look
eat
at
it now.
Your apple.
You can eat
Look
it
at your
now.
apple. It's just a regular old apple.
Looks,
Oh, thank God I'm starving.
looks
And
like
I
you can eat it now. All right, look. Here, take your
Look at
stuff.
apple.
It was gonna be gifts. I was
This is
trying to
just
be
a
nice.
normal apple.
I'm just gonna
No,
like.
I appreciate it.
I'm
Let
just
me
gonna
give you
throw the
something.
stuff that I got. I'm gonna throw the wand and the sword at her, and then
Wait, if you throw
Throw
the
his
wand
sword?
at me,
no, like it's wrapped. It's wrapped still in the leather.
Yeah, I
I'm
got
gonna like
That's just something.
It's just kind of like,
I'm
like
trying
a toss,
to
yeah.
be nice.
no, like literally, yeah.
Natural 20.
I'm eating the apple now because I'm hungry.
Critical niceness.
Yeah. so I'm just gonna like throw the smile wand at you, throw the sword at you,
Yay!
and be like, "Here, Akka, you can here."
What is this? Is this another apple?
It's clearly a necklace, and I'm just
Well,
gonna
I
like
don't know because this was gold.
I'm just
before,
gonna like
now it's just a regular
turn and walk
apple.
away and be like,
Wait,
I can't fucking
Heinrich,
believe
don't
the
be
people I've
upset.
surrounded myself with.
What is this? Can I make you smile?
Does
Hang on, I
it
have to see-
require
I can't
attunement?
remember- I can't remember if it does require attunement or
Okay.
not. This is a real item.
Yeah. I mean, I'm already walking away like frustrated. Just like I got assaulted when I got back with.
Everywhere you go, you get assaulted.
Dude, it's so fucking annoying.
It's really mostly just
Make a charisma saving throw. Heinrich.
Ugh. All right. 27.
A 27? Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem.
I mean, you couldn't.
frown
You can't
harder.
see my face anyways, so you
But it
don't.
would be funny to picture you walking away pissed, and then you're like,
Just-
So, this is a great item, honestly. So, mechanically, it has 3 charges. You can use an action to spend a charge and target a human within 30 feet. And they have to save on a DC 10 charisma saving throw or be forced to smile for 1 minute.
Can you
It's just
email
a
that to me?
flat DC. Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Or
so
text
good.
it
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something?
I'll send it
Okay.
to you. But I mean, it's so OP in some ways
Yeah.
because it's a forced effect
yeah.
that you could like force a dragon.
Honestly,
to
in
smile.
terms of any social situation, you could like fuck things up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, your espionage mission, like, you know, meeting of 2 city states and they're having heated debate and someone says something that like could be interpreted either way and you make them smile and then it makes it seem a certain way. So,
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
Anyways,
You can
I'm
fuck up
picturing it.
statecraft.
I'm honestly picturing a situation where I'm trying to make someone happy, and I'm like, "See, smile," and then it doesn't work, and I'm like, "Never mind."
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
What is this? This necklace that I have.
So holding in your hand is a necklace, and it's all relatively kind of mundane links. Although, hang on one second, let me pull up the notes on it.
It was a gift.
Yeah, it was a gift. That's all you need to know.
Something
Damn. Damn, Aka.
I mean,
Chill
for
out.
fucking real.
Happy.
Okay, so this,
Wait, does it take attunement? Can I cast it?
it does
on?
not take a
Oh, I
turn.
do it to Akka.
Make a DC. Yeah, make a charisma saving throw.
charisma saving throw.
Mhm.
All right, 2 charges on it today.
It's
We smiling?
11.
Oh,
So you see the corner of his mouth just kind of twitch for a second, and then Akka's expression becomes like a little dismayed because
you feel
This
it all of a sudden.
and this is
smile.
not the first time that your body in the last 24 hours has done something that you are not trying to have it
Yeah.
do. So that's like an uncomfortable sensation, but you succeed on the check. This is a necklace of copper chainmail that has been woven together with a single gold link that would sit, you'd imagine, if we were to put it on, kind of like right at the center.
Okay. I guess I'll put it on. Don't want to begrudge him of the gift giving.
So you
God, you're just making it worse.
So you go.
I'm glad that
"Guess
I'm
I'll
not
put
in
it on."
earshot.
I don't want you, and it just projects your voice. All of a sudden, as you put it on, so the part where you say "begrudge him his gift giving," it booms across the space. Heinrich, as you walk away, you hear Akka bellow this out. So yeah,
I'm gonna.
I'm just gonna turn around and just like, minor illusion. You're fucking welcome in the air in like big block letters, and then just turn and go back to the like library area.
I'm going to inspect my sword, but I'm going to chase after you.
okay. Make an
I feel
investigation
bad.
check.
I just want to check out, like, is this a really good sword?
I like that you're running with the sword, looking at it. That's
Yeah.
definitely not going to
No,
end
it's
poorly.
it's like sword and smile.
Yeah.
Also, from after having, like, some
last-
bourbon
the
in
last-
my porridge
Last
and
like 36
smoked a bowl.
hours have put you in a very emotionally vulnerable state. Also unawares.
This is not efficient. I got a 6.
So Morwen takes a couple steps, stops, and like kind of looks at the
Throws
sword,
it
and
over
then
the
goes,
edge.
"Wait,
Give me
Heinrich!"
another
And
one.
he takes another couple steps, and then sees the wand and like starts to point it towards you, and then looks at the sword and like real hard focusing.
Coordinating 2 legs and 2 arms at the same time.
You do determine it is a sword, and it will work functionally roughly the same as your old one,
Alright.
a little less sharp.
So I had true steel, then I had true butts, and now this is new butts.
New butts, a new shiny butts.
I mean, it is shiny and chrome.
But you catch up to Heinrich, who's not running away.
Better than your old smell butts.
All right, hi. Thank you for the gifts.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Come on.
Look, it's
I'm gonna put the.
It's
necklace
just
back on
exhausting.
there. Thanks.
I slept being tied up to a pole. So I
I get that. And I told Akka to let you down when you sobered up. We tried to untie you and you started fighting us.
Well, you know.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said just let you down after it
No,
wore off. And I
no.
don't know. I guess he didn't, but whatever.
I did.
You can't hear this conversation.
It's okay, Heinrich. Everything will be okay.
Yeah, sure.
Come on.
Fine.
Give us a smile. Don't make me. Come
You
on.
couldn't if you tried.
Come on. I'm going to try to persuade you to smile.
I mean, you literally and mechanically could not if you tried.
Come on.
My save is a +10, dude.
I'm going to try anyway.
Make a DC. Make a charisma saving throw.
All right. You don't even know what it
Oh,
does.
wait, can I Panache you?
You don't even know what it
Oh, can I
does.
charm him?
Look, before you stop
Charmed,
waving that
you're
around.
Charmed. I mean,
Stop
you
I'm
waving
not
that
waving it
around.
around.
It wouldn't do.
I'm
a
trying
lot.
to persuade you myself to be in a better mood because I am a charming human.
Fine.
Oh, okay. So I can make a charisma check, okay, against your wisdom.
Oh, that'll probably work.
And if I succeed,
He's charmed.
you are
by-
charmed by me for 1 minute.
We'll do it then.
Okay. Wait, it's just a straight charisma check?
Yeah, I got wisdom save for. Oh,
It's a
wait.
persuasion check.
Natural 20, bitch.
Oh,
I'm
'cause-
so
Pers-
sorry.
but
No, it's fine.
It's contested by your
Natural
insight.
20, bitch. I'm so sorry.
So you just read in wisdom save?
No, so you're making a insight check.
Oh,
This is a persuasion versus insight.
okay.
Panache.
It's literally the same modifier,
Yeah,
so
so there you
23.
Well, if it's persuasion, then it would be 30.
Okay,
Damn. So
close.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clo-
So yeah,
close
there's
battle.
yeah,
So fucking
exactly.
charming.
For friendship.
It's like the end of the fuck. There's Mortal Kombat. There was a period of time
Yeah.
where friendship was a finisher.
yeah.
You killed the person, and then it would go on friendship.
Yeah, with balloons
Oh,
and all
my
that
God,
stuff. Yeah.
Anyways, that happens.
All right, fine.
Friendship.
I crack a smile at your goofiness. I'm like, all right, look, it's just
Yes.
exhausting.
I know. You tell
I was trying to
your buddy
do something
Morwen about
nice.
it.
I was trying to do something nice because like everything that we get involved in is just so dark and world endy, and this was like a moment to revisit something that positive that we did to the world. And I got caught up in the moment and like got you all gifts, and I come back and it's just like deflated. You get it?
I do
It's
get
the
it.
worst.
I know. That's how I feel sometimes too when I get a bunch of people gifts and then the other people who I stole them from are like, give it back. And I'm just trying to do something nice too. It's really hard. It's hard to be a good person, Heinrich, but you're doing all right. You're doing all right.
I'll take that. Sure. Okay. You know what? Yeah. All right. Fine. Well. All right. To be fair,
That's
there was
how we calm down the situation.
there was one more thing that I got you. I forgot. It's
Oh, Heinrich, you didn't.
it's small, but it's actually really really cool. Edelweiss basically pulled from her inspiration for this one, but it's this is super weird. It's funny. I pull out the ring. the what is it called?
So you see this tiny little ring. This is the one you bought from Edelweiss, right?
Yeah, the dark wood,
It
polished to
is-
a shiny finish.
Yeah, it is this dark wood, almost like an ebony, polished to a finish. And then on the inside of the band, you see these beautiful, tiny little carvings of creatures from the Underdark. Spiders, scorpions, I believe actually a troll.
See, look, it's got spooky things on it. I figure you'd like it, and
Oh, Heinrich.
well, I mean, you got Frank all the time. It kind of like matched, and
Didn't I?
the
Let
real
me
thing,
that way.
the real thing that it does is
Hunter just goes right over your statements.
the real thing that it kind of. Well, I don't know. I figure you appreciate it because you always seem to want to make friends and stuff, and well, it apparently allows you. And I haven't tested or anything like that, so like that little smiley wand, it makes people smile. Apparently, this one makes you able to be friends with animals, or make them afraid of you, and talk to them. Anything you want to do.
Okay.
And I figured that would just be appropriate, kind of like going on the positive vibe kick that I was on in Colterom.
Can I call that like Ring of Animal
I
Handling?
literally texted
is a
you. I
ring of
texted you
animal
the
control.
mechanical
Animal.
card that Joe sent me for it.
Okay.
Ring of Animal Influence. So you can do that. It can cast Animal Friendship. It can cast Fear, which I find ironic given how often you're out of combat due to fear, and Speak with Animal.
Very nice.
But useful and whatever. Anyways, I don't know. It's just, yeah.
Well,
That's
I don't
kind of
have
it. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like,
I don't
mumbling to
have,
myself
I don't have
now.
much to give you, but you wanna smoke some pipe, please?
No, I'm okay. I
Okay.
don't need.
You
I
want
don't need that.
you want a beer or something?
No.
Oh
I'm just
yeah,
gonna-
no, me neither.
I think I'm just.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go back and keep helping them with the books until Shay gets back.
You want some what's that drug?
Bunta?
You want some bunta?
Sorry, I just can't take that one seriously.
I like the idea that Morwen is like, oh, Heinrich's kind of cool now. He broke it. You know what? Let's give him the hardest drug I've ever experienced in my
You want to
life.
go shoot up?
Hey, I heard
You
you're
want to
doing
go have
pretty
hallucinations that will literally manifest
You
and
wanna
maybe
just-
kill people?
Want to go chip balls on a mountain in the sky?
Nerds are cool now.
Wow, we could pretend that the mountain's on the ground. Whoa.
Hey, Finn, this guy's cool.
Oh, let's go do drugs! Like,
anyway.
you're basically like, oh, petty theft? How about crystal meth? Let's do that.
That's crystal meth. Wow.
Yeah,
You rhymed it.
look at that.
Even better. Anyways, yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. If you
Look.
ever do, though,
Look,
you come
no,
to me.
you're-
All right?
I don't think. No. No thanks.
Okay.
But yeah, you enjoy those. I don't know how many animals around here to test it on. Maybe the mountain might have
You
some.
think it would work on club?
Finn's gonna catch up with you at this point and go, I don't want to seem ungrateful or anything, but like, did I get a gift?
You got the apple.
Yeah, that was supposed to
You
be
didn't
for
get the
everyone.
apple. Morwen got both the apples.
Yeah,
No, I
Morwen
gave-
one.
Oh,
to
you did
him.
give him one.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
He licked it.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I mean, if you guys are coming back with me with food too, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I
Anything
mean,
to
I
eat.
had the apple.
That's what I wanted to hear. Yeah.
Yeah,
no, I
yeah.
want the
Let's
food.
go back to the library, and I'll set up some food while away from the books.
Do I owe you anything for the sword?
I don't know. Whatever.
Wow. Good guy.
Just just keep it in mind. Fuck, I don't know.
Thanks, bud.
I've had so much fucking gold. This is the first time I've ever spent it on anything other than lodging.
What is your passive perception?
12.
Okay. Morwen,
Yes.
you see Finn's hand go into Heinrich's pocket. Although
How do
Heinrich
I
does not
see
seem
it
to
too?
notice. What is your passive perception?
17.
Are you still back at the ship working? Or did you?
I would
No,
say,
we're-
given that you're
I'm going for the food.
Oh, well, this is like long distance away.
Yeah.
You were at the
Stop-
ship.
I'm
I
gonna
like
stop
stormed
then.
off. Okay.
Discreetly.
okay.
I'm gonna like
Okay.
I don't know.
Finn gives you a look where it's like takes his hand out. Heinrich takes a couple more steps forward, and Finn just like he holds out his hand. Finn was trying to sneak gold into Heinrich's pocket,
Oh.
but
Now I feel bad.
he just sticks it back in his pocket.
I
Did
mean,
I
I'll take
notice
it.
that?
What?
Did I notice it?
Make a perception check. You definitely noticed him reaching into Heinrich's pocket.
He's reaching into everyone's pocket. Ooh.
I thought he was looking for gifts. So
24?
No, he's in back
24?
in Dungannon.
Do you speak Thieves' Cant?
I don't think so. No.
You don't catch like Finn show you see Finn show Morwen something. So to you it definitely looks like he stole something off of
I'm just
Heinrich.
I'm like staring at the both of you like again? Really?
Yeah, basically.
Wand.
Suspicious.
Ah!
Do you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, make a
Last charge of the
perception.
day. Let's do it. I'm so glad I got that for you. Thank you for creating that for.
I think that's a real item.
or-
Are you
Right.
smiling?
You were just like, what are you doing?
I'm just like
As Akka glares at you, you can see the almost in a lot of ways wood elf-like eyes for this high elf. You can see as he's staring at you, this like look. He shakes his head, but then just starts to smile, and his eyes don't match the mouth. There's like a little bit of concern. And
Disconnect.
Akka, you feel yourself smiling despite yourself, and no matter how hard you try for the next minute, that smile does not leave your face.
Thing in the world. I have literally so many like magical like cool shit, and it's this wand that I'm already
Yeah.
like, wow.
Don't forget about that ring because I know it works with your kit.
Yes. Yes.
like,
And by kit, I mean like making friends with literally everyone.
Yeah. Well, I'll once we bring out the food,
I am
I've got a
unsettled.
question to ask you.
I'm unsettled.
That's fair. And as unsettled as you are, you still feel your face so happy about it.
I'm smiling right back with like a real shitty grin.
What did you do?
You see Finn like look back and forth and just kind of start smiling. Not really sure why, but he gets into it. You make your way back to the Floatstone Fortress without any issue. Right around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Shay, are you making your way back there? You do at one point as you're kind of going rooftop to rooftop. You see this group kind of heading back now.
Yes, along the way, I do want to look and see if I can find any cloth or fabric.
Any particular kind?
Not picky on the kind, but would prefer white.
Sure. Without any trouble. There are old remnants of flags and banners that, hanging in the sun above all the clouds, have been bleached entirely white. So, yeah, there's a fair amount of the fabric around.
Cool. I would like enough to make another set of robes.
How many cords do you need?
Make just roll a d20.
You make 20.
That's a natural 20.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Make whatever the fuck you want. And it looks exactly as you fucking wanted to, because that's a natural 20. You find elements of this fabric in several different shades and several different qualities of several different materials.
50
And
Shades of
as you're
White.
kind of, 50 Shades of White. And as you kind of settle this all down, you're like, oh man, I wish I had like the tools present to make this. And as you kind of lean back, this like old crumbling apart giant like bookcase almost, one of the shelves falls in. And there is like broken and kind of like little bits of like sewing supplies. And you're like, oh shit. So whatever you want it to look like. Yeah.
Similar style, but just new.
Okay.
Haven't changed in a while.
Fair enough. So you kind of, it's just a white version of the Zinyi garb that you had, no longer orange or blue. But yeah, no problem.
And then, yes, I'll make my way back.
Okay. So as you guys get roughly to the crescent-shaped courtyard island where you're about to have to figure your way across, those of you who are more aware of your surroundings suddenly notice that there's one more person turning. There is Shay, now dressed all in white. Shay the White.
Hey, how'd your training go? Heinrich's
Interesting.
back.
I like your new
hey, Shay.
robes.
Thank you, Morwen.
Yes, nice. Good change.
So
It was
food?
needed.
A little less conspicuous too if we're ever in recognizable places.
You blend in with the clouds.
That too.
So,
Yeah, food. I'll just find an unoccupied table if there are any.
Yeah, you make your way across the space using whatever means you wish to get across this 30-foot gap.
Parkour.
Sure. You parkour across the 30-foot gap. As
fifth level spell
Akka
slot.
floats across, he's 15 feet across,
Like-
you run, jump, plant, and
I just
parkour over.
hold my hand out to Finn, like Finn, just like looking across.
And just like, yep.
Yep.
Grabs it, and you guys
Boink.
right across.
class street.
You guys just cross that busy
Buddy
skyscraper.
Hold hands while you cross the street.
Yeah.
You make your way through the courtyard into the northern entrance and wrap around to the northeastern wing where these large communal tables, at this time now about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, are filling up. Lunch seems to be something that is probably tofu based. It doesn't look terribly good. But you can find most of an empty table. There's like 1 or 2 villagers off on the far end.
Yeah.
Your group sits down, the 4 of you. Finn will be joining you as well.
I'm going to look around at everyone and just kind of like gauging, probably vegetarian.
Yeah, you don't see any meat in this
Yeah.
hallway.
I'm gonna see if I can push this thing to its limits. A like roast and fresh vegetable smorgasbord with a nice bread gap to like meats and cheeses.
Okay.
For as many people as I think this thing can handle. So like, how many people are in the room?
So it's not a room; it's like a long hallway that kind of wraps around
But
its
like
tall
in this
space.
space that we're in.
Immediately, probably about 30, 35, and then people, in the various kind of basic structures around. So,
Oh, wow.
like in this immediate
Might be.
vicinity,
This
a
might be
couple,
a
3
bit
dozen.
I'll do a healthy portion. I don't want to break this thing if it can even break. So yeah, so let's try for like 15 people's worth of.
Okay, hang on, I'm gonna look at the rules that I wrote. for this thing.
Because again, it's not magical. It is, but it isn't.
It's so when Gamble makes things very technically,
Like
it is
detect magic doesn't work on it.
correct.
Yeah.
It is not magical in that regard. It is for.
Because I know I've done like a pretty decent buffet style of it before.
Decent.
Yeah. Like enough for like almost 10 people, I think. So just upping it a little.
So as this food comes out, so you press the button and this tray begins to unwind, and you see this smell first, the roasted smell of parsnips and carrots that seem to be cooked in some kind of like a balsamic vinaigrette of some kind. But then there's an element to it that's sharp and unfamiliar. And as you kind of smell it and get closer, it's like balsamic with like just a little bit of Parmesan shaved across to add like an element of nuttiness too. There's depth of flavor that you can instantly kind of smell and recognize. And carrots, and then past that, you can see there is some kind of a grain, maybe like quinoa, that seems to have something else worked into it that rises up to this mountain of different breads, and then that descends down to a slope of meats and cheeses that kind of, create almost a landscape of food.
Now
And then it
this-
abruptly ends, probably enough to feed about 12 people.
Okay, cool. How what's the physical circumference or size, like surface area of this?
So this is going in total for this, because it's not necessarily the size doesn't matter. It feeds 12 people.
Right.
So at
I'm just curious,
present-
like, should I have a very small dining area and a lot of people? Would it like?
No, so it spreads out to be about 3 feet long.
Okay.
This tray, so
Okay.
it's pretty long.
Cool.
Spreads across most of the table, leaving about 10 inches on either side.
Cool.
And just this heap of food.
Perfect. I'm gonna pop one of those good berries and like walk away from the table and just be like,
I'm
"All right,
diving
then
in.
The
lunch is
Morwen
served."
in,
I'm gonna
bread
try to
goes
get some
everywhere.
before Morwen like destroys it.
Are you
all.
physically diving in?
I'm clearing my throat.
No.
I'm clearing my throat loudly, pointedly at both of you, and also eyesing at everyone else
I
in the
put
room.
the
Then I
necklace
just
on and
like.
say, thank you.
Then I have like a handful of the
So fucking
quinoa, and I'm like,
Yeah, but like pointedly eyesing at everyone else in the room,
Hey,
just like
she poured whiskey all over my gruel.
I do not care.
she boozed my gruel. No,
I'm walking away to like
You
a
got
window or
gruel
something.
in my booze.
I'm just
got
gonna have.
booze
I'm
in
gonna
my
have
gruel.
one of everything, and then I will walk away.
Yeah, I'm gonna just get a modest plate. 'Cause
So
I had the
everybody,
apple.
it seems like, kind of watches you and Morwen first. You kind of being associates of Heinrich, and they very much follow your lead. So there becomes this kind of small Squall's End villager buffet line where they get these plates, these little simple wooden plates that are kind of lined up on all the tables, and like get a couple things and kind of move down the line.
Yeah, just like
And-
add it to their tofu or whatever.
yeah. The tofu is almost entirely left untouched.
Oh, boo.
So it's kind of left on its
Don't
own.
waste it.
There are probably close to 200 people in this entire fortress,
yeah. I mean,
so
I'm
it'll
not-
get eaten.
Yeah,
But the people who are here right now, they're really eating.
yeah.
It's a very different meal, and so all of a sudden, in this place that has been relatively quiet and serene, there's conversation and a little bit of chatter, and for the first time, Shay, for you, there is an element of Squall's End that is reminiscent of some of the more positive times. When you think about some of the celebrations and the important days, the same kind of feast and open conversation. And there is something nice to that. And as you sit there in these brand new robes and kind of look across something that is becoming more and more familiar, there is this kind of new start feeling. At this point, I think Gamble off to the side would catch your eye and just sort of motion you over.
So we should maybe, now that we're all together, go
Not
shake off.
stealthily, but not trying to draw attention.
What'd you say?
So we should all, now that we're all together, maybe go over. Shay's gone.
I'm also away from the team.
Oh no,
too.
wait! I have a question for you.
Okay, well,
Can I ask it now?
no, because it's going over to Gamble.
You're going over to Gamble.
No, this is happening right now.
Oh,
We're
Jesus
playing
fuck.
this
I'm
role-playing
so
game.
sorry.
Jesus.
Okay.
He started to. I thought.
Yeah, both of you.
I got confused.
So I'm the
By all
dungeon
means.
master. Sometimes I run this game.
No, I got confused on where we were.
It's okay. We've been doing it for like 3 years. It's pretty new.
Continue.
Okay. I'm totally kidding. Gamble,
I feel bad.
it's okay. Don't worry about it.
Just eat your food.
You kind of go off to the side now with the sun having set. Still elements of a sunset providing bits of light through the windows, but most of the light kind of coming either from like the little lanterns that are sort of haphazardly placed around the space. And in this space you can see, even with your normal vision, Gamble's eyes have this eerie, pale glow to them. And when he looks at you, he's looking at you, but he's looking almost at other things as well. And you're aware that there is an element of the energies that monks channel that it seems almost like Gamble is even more deeply tapped into. He's seeing a layer to this world that you're not. Perhaps an element of being the listener. But as he invites you over, he smiles and he says, Shay, I had quite an interesting day with your friends.
Yes, I can believe that.
There is something interesting happening. When I became the listener, things began to change, slowly at first. But I see things and hear things that I shouldn't be able to. There are positives and negatives, as there always are. There is balance.
As with all things.
There is something, Shay, that is happening in Calypsos. Things are not as we thought. I don't understand it yet. I see images and shapes. I see words. And I cannot tell if these are things that have happened or things that have not yet come to pass. If you go to Calypsos, be careful.
It is an eventual stop.
Maybe. If Calypsos comes here, be even more careful.
Of course.
And Shay, you should try to find out about Akka.
In what way?
There is something unusual to his arm. Something related to Zystris.
Perhaps that's why he's been so off.
Akka is interesting. He is an elf, but unlike any that I've met. When we first met, I imagined perhaps from Everest, from the Green Spire, but Akka, I think, is a high elf. His mannerisms are different. Even the name, Akka, that's giant.
Yes, I remember we were eating something that they called an Akka.
Similar to a sandwich of some kind, I think.
Yes. I thought it strange.
There is just a lot about him that we still don't know. And I sense there is a lot about him that he does not know.
Or perhaps more that he's not letting on.
Perhaps. Either way, it is worth being careful about.
Of course.
He kind of nods. I have, as always, more to attend to. But it was good seeing you again, Shay.
Likewise, Uncle.
He bows to you and then heads off down to the northern section of the fortress. Back at the table, Shay, are you rejoining the group?
Yeah.
Okay, so Shay returns, and finally, all of you have returned to the same place at the same
Heinrich's
time.
not here anymore.
You're still in the same room,
He's
at
still
least.
here?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
just at like the entrance archway, looking out at the like gap between the cloud and the like pathway.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
like-
So now that we're all here, what's our next move?
Oh, well, I had a question for Heinrich, but that's purely specific to me.
Well,
Heinrich, what's this broom?
What? Sorry. What broom?
G-Man said you may know because it's got face stuff about it.
That. Right. Okay.
From her sleeve. Fink! Pulls out a broom. You see this broom?
Oh,
Can I, what,
Make an Arcana check.
what's going
Yeah.
on with this?
looks like Aka's got it.
Oh, G-Man said that you should look at it.
You could probably look at it too.
Alright, I'll just.
It's a 21.
21. Looking at this broom, it's certainly magical. Without even like touching it, you can kind of tell. There's an element to it that just seems too clean and too. There's something that sets it apart from this world, and in that way, unusual too, because it's not just magic. It is certainly a Fey item. You haven't dealt very widely in the Feywild, and so not much with a
All I've
21
done is
aside
killed
from that,
a
but certainly magical.
Tree.
Yeah.
Fey tree.
What'd you roll, Heinrich?
Oh, I didn't yet.
Okay, make an Arcana check if you want.
No, I'm just gonna say like, all right, well, okay, yeah, give me a minute. I'm just gonna take it, and I will sit down and lay it across my lap and cast Identify.
Okay.
It's gonna take me a little while.
Take
11 minutes
11
to be
minutes.
exact.
That's enough time for me to digest.
So everybody just kind of eats, and
And then
there's
stands around staring at me for 11 minutes.
So Meliora's gonna help us make amends for
I'm sure she's thrilled.
she seemed very, very excited about it. Just chuffed.
So, what does she have to do? Do we have to, like, pay him off or something?
I don't know, but we have to make an apology so that we don't get
Me?
well,
Or...
I think me and Heinrich for killing fey creatures.
Okay.
But
and as you guys are talking about this,
Not
Finn kind
super
of swallows something and goes, "You could just ask her." And if you turn, you can see past Heinrich, kind of walking in from the courtyard, is Meliora.
I guess we should try to all hash this out.
Heinrich, as you conclude this spell,
Mm-hmm.
this is certainly a magical item. This is a broom of flying.
Oh God!
I was hoping so.
So now piecing all this together, that we've had this. Hold the description for 1 second.
Sure.
Allie just needs to find a very small human-looking creature and become a reverse witch, where she is the black.
God.
She is the black cat witch, and then befriend it with the ring, and have a smiling naked human on her lap,
Like one of those.
like in Futurama.
You should have brought in the
Yeah.
imp from that you guys met. The
one I wanted
the Mike
to say?
Wazowski imp. Yeah.
Oh, could you imagine?
Anyways,
No, I probably would have...
show you the world.
I probably would have thrown him off Yorn, let's be real.
it would have been. All right. So, broom of flying.
You can. So this broom has a flying speed of 50 feet.
Uh-huh.
Use
It
that
can
to
carry
go
up to 400
back up.
pounds.
Okay.
But its flying speed becomes 30 when you're carrying over 200.
Okay.
The broom stops hovering when you land.
Yeah.
You can send the broom to travel alone to a destination within 1 mile of you.
Yeah.
If you speak the command word, name the location, and are familiar with the place.
Right.
And the broom will come back to you when you speak another command word, provided that the broom is still within 1 mile of you.
Okay.
Can I make the command word?
You can.
Vroom, vroom, motherfucker.
Hyphenated in one word.
VVMF. Can you...
So, voomp.
Vroom. Can you...
I can't wait till you give that to like a super serious character to like escape some important, like, the world is
Yeah.
collapsing.
Just sit on this and get
Or
out of here.
Or like a
Vroom, vroom,
sentimental
motherfucker.
gift.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'll always remember you. Here's it.
Yeah,
Will you also send me that one?
yeah, I will. So that is a broom of flying.
Cool. That is a broom of flying. Now,
Maybe you can
in
use
that,
it to get your stuff back.
specifically, hold on 1 second. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it. Was that vendable into information on the Fae?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
We'll
With
find
all
out.
of this knowledge
Yeah,
and
yeah,
this deep
yeah.
understanding of this object.
Sure.
I mean, my Arcana's Garbo, so I need to roll really high. 15.
15?
Yeah.
With all of this information, this is a broom of flying, it's Fae, and you begin to think about some of the creatures that you've heard that may utilize something like this.
Mm-hmm.
And you've heard of these creatures, and you've even gotten real close to them a couple of times.
Yeah, and I also know Gilly and maybe Omem.
Yeah, no idea. But a good witch Gilly
Yeah.
probably would be the kind of creature that would create something like this. So hags, probably.
Right.
Although there's nothing obviously hag-like about this. It's a pretty broom. It just looks like a broom.
Mm-hmm.
So hard to tell.
Okay.
Where did you get that?
I found it
Where?
in a store.
Where?
Dungannon.
Where?
When there was all those zombies.
Front left cupboard.
That doesn't it. What?
I answered all your questions.
Honestly, so specifically too.
Yeah.
Nearly the only thing that's missing is which like quadrant like panel it was in on the battle map.
What kind of store has this?
I don't know. One ran by zombies. This was in the back.
All the good shit is.
I didn't realize
Do you remember-
Morwen interpreted that as the zombies running the store. That's
Oh,
great.
she would.
Yeah.
Do you remember this thing? And I pull out the like soul-sucking grotesque, like,
Do you?
and then I put it back in immediately. No, I don't. I do not, because I know that this thing attracts shit. I'm not gonna fucking pull it out. But yeah. Do you remember the grotesque? Do you remember obtaining that?
Yeah, and the candy, like near the candy shop or the
candy
factory.
Mm-hmm.
What candy factory?
Near-ish Sunset Suites, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Where everything was like coming for it, and we removed it, and they all followed us.
So it was from that shop.
Yeah, this shop filled with dangerous, magical, dark stuff that seemed to just clutter up in there.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't there with you.
No. Otherwise, maybe you would have gotten the broom, but I found it.
I don't want the broom. I can fly already.
Oh, excuse me.
Excuse you.
Smile.
worth-
No, I'm just kidding.
Too late. You already did that.
You do it, and it's just like, and a bunch of like frowny emojis shoot out the tip.
For what it's worth, make a history check, because you, being from Dungannon, may know of this place.
Oh, I probably do, because that's 24.
24? Yeah, you know this place. Give me 1 second. Let me pull it up. As she describes a place just cluttered up with, dark objects and things of that nature, it would naturally lead you to think about... Let me get my shopping.
I think I even knew the store, to be honest.
It wasn't the Traveler's Hall, it wasn't the Stables and the Slough.
Maybe
It
not.
was, I believe, on Overlook Avenue. Sorry, I have a very comprehensive Dungannon guide. Organizations, Where the Mirthful Reaper, the Doontop Manor, the Antiquities Collective. I'll have to find for you the exact shop, but you do remember that it is this ancient goblin lady who owns it, and it's like a pawn shop.
That tracks.
Very much a pawn shop. It doesn't necessarily collect evil items, but as a goblin, her taste in items is a little more evil
shady.
inclined. Yeah, a little shadier.
Okay.
She
This all
likes things that
tracks.
are considered ugly by most.
This all tracks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, that's very much still a store. So
Yeah, and
Morwen probably didn't just find it there.
And probably
That sounds
just
like it's
stole it.
probably stolen.
What's the difference?
So you stole that.
No. No, we killed everyone who was in that store.
That doesn't mean that it's not. You don't murder people as an act of the transaction when you try to purchase things. You
I
don't
mean,
just. You don't. How
you
many
don't not.
shopkeepers
You
have
don't
you
not.
murdered?
Well, that day, I guess 3.
Oh my god.
You can see Finn even is like, Morwen, that's like kind of a
Well,
lot.
they attacked me. They were trying to kill us.
Are you sure that they were shopkeepers, or did they catch you stealing? Like,
No, I didn't steal until they were dead.
so you did steal it.
I didn't. Aw. Slotty. Yeah.
Oh god. So yeah, Finn kind of looks at you and goes, Morwen, you can't just go around
They
killing
were
shopkeepers.
reanimated
I
dead.
didn't.
There's a reanimated dead problem in Dungannon. We all know
Okay.
this. This was during an attack
That
that they were
doesn't
trying to reach an
mean you
object.
can just-
And oh my god. Semantics and minutia and holy crap, you guys are focusing on the wrong thing. Were we going to talk to
I mean,
Meliora or connect?
murdering people in a place that, like,
I
I
actually
do a lot
Are
of
we
business.
talking?
did.
Are we
What do you
talking
mean? When
about?
we killed the dragon, you took stuff from it.
Yeah, but that was a dragon. I've only
these were
ever done
zombies.
that once.
And these were zombies.
That's from
and
a
ghosts.
shop that still exists in the city.
Oh, well, if it still exists, then it didn't hurt the business that bad, okay?
Stealing things like that hurts the business.
I mean, we don't know that.
I gotta say, I'm like really morally not sure which side of the fence to fall on here, because on the one hand, if you find stuff, it is yours, but on the other hand, please stop murdering people.
I didn't do it intentionally. They started it, and they were already kind of dead, so it didn't really even count.
What do you mean, kind
They
of
were
dead?
zombies. Jesus.
Yeah, they were-
How many
they
times do
were
I have to keep
undead.
saying this?
They were undead.
Yeah, and Dungannon.
So the shop keeps in the zombie same thing?
Yes. I thought we already cleared that up.
Not for me. So okay, great.
It was pretty vague. But
I guess none of you guys
Hey,
do that.
Meliora, what's good?
You see Meliora on her own table. There were like 3 or 4 people sitting at it when she got there, and they like got up and left. So she's kind of sitting at her own table. She looks over at you with her one eye and then just kind of nods to you and then continues to eat.
If you don't mind, Metley, could we come sit with you and discuss our plans?
I'm gonna just walk over and sit next to her.
As you're politely saying that, Morwen just sits down with all of her stuff just right next to Meliora.
Well, I guess we should go have this talk.
Meliora looks up at you, Morwen, and then turns to you. I suppose so.
I'm gonna get up and go over and be kind of like,
Look, she's gonna, like, kind of as you all sit, assuming that you're all sitting, she's going to say, I want to make this very clear. I am not doing this for any of you. This is for gamble.
That's a lot of people are saying that to us lately.
What do you want to know?
Well, what we should do to prepare for our traveling through the frost line and appeasing the entities in the Feywild that we've offended?
It is not the entities of the Feywild that we need to plead to. It is Azalian, and it's not pleading. That's embarrassing.
Well, I didn't say. I said appease, not plead. You said plead. Look, I
I am
just wanna
going to
get
bring
this
you
done.
to the gateway of shadow and snow.
Okay.
We're going to pay a tithe to Queen Maeve.
What kind of tithe? Just like monetary?
It can be a variety of things, but something that she would appreciate. I'll get to that.
Okay.
We'll pay a tithe to Queen Maeve of the Winter Court, and with her blessing, we can have a proper introduction to Azalian. Or at least enter using the proper protocols. From there, we can ask him what to do to find peace within the Frost Line.
This all sounds good to me.
Yeah, sure. What kind of gift?
It needs to be something singularly precious to you.
Each of us?
Yes.
Or just the ones that actually killed the,
Whoever wishes to enter safely.
Singularly precious, huh?
It needs to be something that brings the cold of winter closer to your heart.
Like in a good way? Because I prefer the warmth. But it's just
Yeah,
me.
this is sounding a little sacrificey to me, not gonna lie.
It is.
Yeah. That's bad. You guys got this, right? Just kidding.
I mean, so like the giant silver chalice that I have that has no sentimental value to me whatsoever, probably not.
Certainly not.
Wait, can we like run these things by you?
We're not
I
even
can try,
We're not even there.
but Morwen, I cannot look into your heart.
And this other woman can?
Most certainly.
Even under all this fur?
Even.
Okay. I got a bad feeling about this one.
Do you not know about the Queen of Darkness and Air?
I mean, half of that sounds straightforward. But no.
Which part of that?
Queen of Darkness?
She chuckles
air
a little
doesn't-
bit.
Well, I mean, in relation to this exchange.
Okay.
Queen Maeve is the opposite of Titania. Do you know of her?
Queen of the Feywilds?
Yes.
I knew that.
For all of you. Let's begin at the beginning. She holds out her hand, and it's as if the lights grow darker around her. and this beautiful illusion begins to take form. But because it is midnight, that is where we're going to end for the evening. So thank you for hanging out with us for this evening. It's 11:55, close enough. You guys are still in Yorn.
We're almost leaving.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Oh man,
Oh,
I
we
overprepared.
forgot to ask you how your date went
What date?
True.
with Carranza.
Yeah, Karanza, will they or won't they? Won't.
Oh yeah.
They won't, as it
Hard
turns out.
no.
Heinrich strikes out again.
Oh, yeah. So far in this campaign, I guess technically,
Pushed her out of a hot air balloon this time.
yeah, Heinrich has had the worst
Well,
love life of the
fortunately-
campaign, I guess, technically.
Fortunately,
really?
my-
Is mine not that? Well, I guess
He
that's
caused
not-
an international incident.
Yeah.
Yeah. that's
You
right.
had some chemistry.
Fortunately,
with-
I don't have Azra as my
Dad
wingman
bod.
anymore.
Yeah, but that was literally in the
forgot about
history
that.
of time that I could think of the worst date.
Yeah.
It could have theoretically
Fancy
started a
slice of
war.
meat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that
like
was
Franz
bad.
Ferdinand level shit.
Yeah, absolutely that was.
Forgot
Yeah,
Tank
if
the
you
Dill.
guys, it's a really muddy path. But if you guys hadn't gotten that favor from the Gold Glows,
Yeah.
that could have absolutely escalated further. So that was really good in some ways. Anyways, thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Is everybody back next week? Session 97 will be next week at Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. It is crazy, so please stay safe out there, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.